All right, guys, welcome to episode 3 of the Talk Before You Run podcast. As always, got Beaker below me, Ferno to the left of your screen, Switch to the right of your screen, and as you know, I'm Travis. Today, we got a couple different topics. Of course, we're going to start off talking about sports because, that's the big thing that a lot of people probably want to hear about. As
Especially right
well.
now with everything going on.
Oh, yeah, with the playoffs and the NFL and everything that's happening, a lot of crazy things happened this week.
Yeah,
As
a lot we
far
could
as
discuss.
yeah, as far as the games that took place, man, call had us on the edge of our seats.
Yes, I'm glad Switch was here to enjoy it with us.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was my first game back, and I'm super happy.
Oh yeah, it was really fun sitting here watching sports with these two gentlemen. Ferno was unfortunately not able to make it in there with us. But I want to go ahead and first we're going to talk about, the games that we had played, a little bit of the stats behind them, and, then we'll go in and I'll give y'all the rundown of what the new playoff bracket looks like as far as who's playing who.
I
I think
kind of want to go over also when we are going over these. I do want to kind of recap on our previous picks for these games and then how we,
Yeah, how we
So,
completely,
I do want y'all's input on, y'all's previous picks and then what's coming. So I do want to hear about that. I do want to know what y'all think is going to happen.
Yeah, I think I went 50% on our picks. I do believe I'm not 100% sure on y'all's, but I do believe I have mine here in front of me, and yes, I did go 50% without giving too much away. Okay,
I
so
went, yeah, about the same.
50% for you too. Okay,
I think so.
so first
Yeah.
I want to start off. We're gonna talk about San Francisco and Seattle, which that game kind of went exactly how we really expected it to. It stayed close through the first beginning of it, and we got to give our props to Geno Smith and what he was able to do in the beginning of that game. The defense just really kind of did their part too, but offensively they kind of had some struggles going into the second half. Um, the final score ended up being 41 to, I do believe it was, what is it,
23.
23?
It was 23.
Yeah. So you got to give it to Geno. Like I said, I mean, he went 25 of 35 for 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. As far as, stat wise, this is a pretty good little stat line, but he just couldn't beat out Brock Purdy and San Francisco. He did have a strip sack fumble. I want to say it was in the third quarter. Am I right with that, Beaker? Do you remember if it was the third quarter, right? Right at the end of
That
it.
was the end of the third quarter. Going in.
Yeah, so this is actually one of the games that I picked wrong. 'Cause, I picked
Really?
I picked Seattle to win this game. Remember, because I said I wanted him to win just because I
You're
wanted
both on
Geno
that.
Smith. Yeah, I wanted Geno Smith to be able to. What the fuck am I saying? Geno Smith. Wow.
I was wondering.
I am way off on that one.
I don't know why. That was
No,
a
I
big
am
difference.
right, motherfucker.
And
Hold
then-
up, wait. Oh, excuse my language. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
I don't know why that just didn't sound right coming out of my mouth. Geno Smith, but that says his name. Hold up.
yeah, that's just, you picked Seahawks.
Yes, I did. I did choose Seattle to win over San Francisco, mostly because I wanted Geno to win.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say we picked it for the same reason. I thought you were like changing. I was like, wait.
no,
That's
no, no,
right.
no. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm for some reason was completely confused. And I do believe the other two gentlemen, Switch and Fevno as well. Didn't y'all pick Seattle to win that game?
Yeah, I picked
I
Seattle.
believe so.
Okay, yeah. So, like I said, you got to give it up to my man Geno with the stats that he put up. He just was not able to stop Brock Purdy going 18 for 30 for 332 yards and 3 touchdowns, as well as their run game. Their run game was insane. Christian McCaffrey ended up taking 15 carries for 119 yards. So, all in all, San Francisco just completely did exactly what everybody thought they was going to do. And they played very well. Like I said, it stayed close in the first half, but coming out in the second half, Seattle just could not keep their foot ahead, and it is what it is. So now the interesting game that I'm really ready to talk about
Yep.
is Jacksonville, versus the Chargers. Now, this is a game going into it. Me and Beaker had the most difficulties when it came to picking who we wanted to win this game. And we was kind of okay with it, whichever way that it went. But the way that this game, came down to the end, it was insane.
Oh, man.
Had us on the edge of our seat, biting our nails, and we just could not believe it that Jacksonville was able to come back from a 27-point deficit going into the second half to come out with the final score being 31-30. Now, this was a game that Trevor Lawrence started off really, really rough. He threw for 4 interceptions in the first half, 3 of them being in the first quarter. So he did actually make up for that, because he would add to come back from a 27-point deficit, and actually ended up going 28 of 47 for 288 yards, 4 touchdowns, and of course the 4 interceptions. Beaker, did you, when we was watching this game, did you expect that to be the final score, 31-30? Did you expect him to come back from that 27-point deficit to begin with?
Like I said, I don't like going against Trevor. I hate it. I love the guy. But no, if they were gonna come back, that's how it would have been done. Trevor made, that what was it? The play that he just straight dove, reaching over the fucking line, over the touchdown line.
Yeah, like a little quarterback sneak, and he used them long arms and that long body to his advantage, and he just, so much. Effortlessly
it
reached it.
Pretty fast. Yeah, it happened so fast. I don't think the other team was expecting it. But man, Justin played. He did his part. He came through. But 30-31. I mean, and I know you could have ruined it for me. You ruined it for yourself.
I did. I did ruin it for myself.
So thank you, but like I said, I hate going against Trevor Lawrence because you never know with that guy. Like you said, he started out rough, but he turned it around. Risky plays. He had some long, some throws.
He had a couple really good throws, couple really wide open throws that he just, dropped it right in the bread basket for his receivers to catch it. He played phenomenally in that second half of that game. And,
like you said, I'm fine. We were fine with it going either way. I didn't want to go against Trevor at all. But I wanted to go with Dustin as a,
Yeah, and like you said, we was fine with whatever the outcome of this game was, but we did pick the Chargers to win, and you got to give it up to Justin Herbert. He went 25 of 43 for 273 yards and a touchdown, and he played his ass off out there on that field, and honestly, his defense kind of just.
I was gonna say the defense couldn't hold.
Yeah, the defense kind of gave it up on him. He did everything he could to try to keep them in that game and keep the foot on the gas. But the defense just was not holding up come that second half. I think they got a little bit too complacent. And now Beaker and Switch have learned this. Whenever I'm watching football, I can coach this team better than the coach can.
That's definitely true.
But tell me I'm not wrong. When I was sitting there calling, saying what they should and shouldn't do, when they would listen to me, they did the right thing. But when they wouldn't listen to me, they just wasn't doing it right. So the other two touchdowns came off of Austin
Really?
Eckler. I wish they would. So he didn't have like a really big day as far as yardage goes. He had 13 carries for 35 yards, but in those 35 yards, he did tack on 2 touchdowns. And when it comes to the running game, Travis Etienne 20 carries for 109 yards. That's some pretty good stat lines right there. And I will say this, man, this first round of the playoffs was the tight ends game. And I had brought this up to Beaker and Switch.
Yeah,
That
we were talking about that. Definitely.
it's absolutely insane because in this game right here, you had Evan Ingram going 7 receptions, 93 yards and a touchdown. Gerald Everett went 6 receptions, 109 yards and a touchdown, which is not real common. Common amongst tight ends. That's something that you would see a receiver put up. I mean, there's a handful of tight ends in the league that can do it. George Kittle being one of them. Travis Kelce being the other. When you think of like the tight end position and what they can really do, those are the two guys that pop in your mind. But Evan Ingram just having him a hell of a game, and Gerald Everett having him a hell of a game, and it's just a shame that one team, somebody's got to lose. It's just how it is. And man, if I could have voted to have both of these teams go through to the next round of the playoffs, I would have. The next game is going to be Buffalo and Miami. So we actually didn't watch this game. Well, I mean, I didn't. I don't know about everybody else. I didn't actually get to watch this game because I had a lot of stuff going on, the stuff that I had to do. So I did miss it. And Buffalo beat Miami by 3 points. And the final score ended up being 34-31. Not at all what I would have expected that final score to be. Not at all. And you got to give it up to Thompson. I mean, yeah, he threw 2 interceptions. He went 18 of 45 for 220 yards, a touchdown. And I think, to be honest with you, if Tua Tagovailoa was able to play in that game, I think it really could have went to Miami. I'm like I said, I'm not 100% sure exactly what happened in the game. I didn't actually get to watch it. I mean, I can only give you the stats that I have written down. Josh Allen went 23 of 39 for 352 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, which minus the 2 interceptions is still a pretty damn good stat line. Running game kind of wasn't all there in this game. You had Devin Singletary was their top rusher with 10 carries, 48 yards, and Wilson was Miami's top rusher with 10 carries, 23 yards, and a touchdown. So as far as the Russian side goes of it, there was no, huge, rush game involved here. I mean, and of course your 2 top receivers would be Stephon Diggs for Buffalo and Tyreek Hill for Miami, which is kind of expected of these guys. In and week out, Stephon Diggs managed to haul in 7 receptions for 114 yards. Tyreek Hill managed to go 7 receptions for 69 yards. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think anybody expected Miami to be within 3 points of Buffalo without Tua Tagovailoa playing. So I really wish I would have got to watch that game because, I mean, I think a game that close, it would have been nice. And actually, aside from San Francisco and Seattle, all these games are really close. And the ones that we did get to watch, it was really, really intense, really nail-biting, on the edge of your seat, fun to watch. It was fun. And then, of course, it always makes better when you get to watch with your friends. So
this one, I didn't get to watch, unfortunately. But I'm glad I like I said, I went with Buffalo. It was one of my ones that I did get right. And I was right. I mean, like you said it, Tua being out, like you said, I didn't expect it to be this close, but at the same time, I kind of did. I don't doubt Dolphins like that. But without Tua being there, and I didn't expect it being that close. That would have probably been a really good game.
Oh yeah, I would have loved to have been able to watch that if I would have had the time to. Switch, you got anything you wanted to add in on that game? I don't know if you
I've
looked
only
at the
watched
stats.
the 2.
Okay, so yeah, you
And
only
I
watched
did.
them.
I did just now look at the stats, but I have nothing down.
Ferno, did you get a chance to watch any of the football games?
No, I was unable to watch them.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, we did catch the ones that we could. I mean, I made sure I had it up to where Beaker and Switch could watch it with me, man, and it was a blast. And I really wish Ferno would have been there to be able to join us, because it was fun. Oh yeah, next week, Ferno, for real, you are gonna have to get in there and watch some games with us. This is where it really starts to get interesting. This is where the big dogs start to come out and play, and this is what the time of the football season that it really gets interesting and anything can happen.
We'll talk about big dogs later.
Mhm.
We'll talk about we'll
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about big dogs later. All right.
Yeah. All right. So the next game on our list, another one that we did get right, would be New York and Minnesota. Now I'm going to be totally honest with you. Coming into this game, I did not have the highest of hopes on New York actually winning this game, but they did, 31-24. Daniel Jones went, crazy. He missed 11 passes out of the entire day, going 24 for 35 with a stat line 301 yards and 2 touchdowns. He just absolutely blew it out the water because he was also their lead rusher. Okay? Not only did he go for 301 yards in the air, he took another 17 carries for 78 yards on the ground. So this man, he was out there doing it all. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have a couple tackles under his belt. Now, as far as quarterback performance goes, Kirk Cousins did do a little bit better. He did outperform Daniel Jones by just a hair. He did go 31-39 for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns. The yardage wasn't there, but the completion percentage was. And, sometimes in my opinion, the completion percentage is a little bit more important than the yards. As far as the stat outlook goes. So I kind of, it ended up coming down to a touchdown. And I was kind of taking a look at it, and at coming to the end of this game, 4th and 8, gotta have the first down. I don't know what Kirk Cousins was thinking when he decided to throw this little 3-yard pass to TJ Hawkinson with a defender draped right over his shoulder. Probably not the smartest play we've ever seen Kirk Cousins make. Maybe he had a little bit too much faith in TJ Hawkinson and breaking that tackle. Maybe he didn't have anything open downfield because, that is a possibility too. The pocket was collapsing on top of him. So, yeah, he had just a split second to make that decision. He just so happened to make the one that knocked them out of the playoffs. Because, they had to have it. There was not enough time left on the clock for them to get a stop and, be able to continue the game. But that does also go back to this was a tight ends game. Because talking about tight ends, TJ Hawkinson managed to carry in 10 receptions for a whopping 129 yards. And then you got Ingles going with 8 receptions for 105 yards and a touchdown. Like I said, these are stats that you don't really see tight ends put up all that often in the NFL. And the fact that, we've had so many of them here just in the playoffs, and I like to see it. I like to see the bigger guys being able to get involved, and, we had a really nice, well, we'll get to that one in a second. I'll let Baker go ahead and see what he's got to say about this game.
As far as
as far as the stats goes from New York and Minnesota, would you really expect to see your quarterback being, of course he's going to be your top passer because, he is your starting quarterback unless you take him out of the game. He's going to be your top passer. But do you really expect to see Daniel Jones also as a top rusher with 17 carries and 78 yards?
No, I did not actually. The fact that hey, you said how many yards?
78 yards.
Yeah.
He took 17 carries for 78 yards as a quarterback. This man was trying to put on his best Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. What the hell? All right. Well, yeah, no, I did not expect that from him. Could have, he just didn't want to let go of the ball, I guess. I mean, it's
Look, for all you know, that man was out there running for his life. Who says that was even scripted?
I mean, yeah, there was a couple plays where they were closing in on him. It just could have been, a bad play, but he was able to make it.
Look, and Daniel Jones is like so shifty in the pocket, and I mean, as he proved right there, I mean, he can take off and run. So he does have that like dual threat to him where he can run and he can throw. Because I mean, it's Danny Dimes, baby. He's it's in the name, you know what I'm saying? But I think that one was also a pretty good game. But now we're gonna come to the game that kind of had me nervous, and it came down to one pivotal play that really sealed this game off. If it wouldn't be for this, they wouldn't have, probably still be tied on the field because I don't think they were all playing all that great. They also weren't doing all that bad either. Sorry. Then that would be Cincinnati and Baltimore. Now, this is another one of the games that Beaker and Switch watched with me.
Is that the one where they flipped the 15 yards, or was that was that the Cowboys? I know one of those games they had like picked up the ball and ran it downfield, gained like maybe 15 yards, and they called the flag and reversed the.
I think that was the Cowboys.
Yeah,
that was. Right?
That would have been Dallas and Tampa Bay.
I know. I was like, that's one of the recent ones we watched.
The one pivotal moment. Well, let me go ahead and give you a little bit of stats first, and then I'll go ahead and tell you what the main deciding factor of this game was. Okay, so you got to give it to Huntley. He played a great game. He went 17 to 29, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Joe Burrow, right behind him, pretty close to the same stats, went 23 to 32 for 209 yards and a touchdown. There was no actual, I want to say there was no rush game, but I mean, J.K. Dobbins still managed to put up 13 carries for 62 yards. Joe Mixon, only went 11 carries for 39 yards. So this is another one that a tight end, made the top receiving list, and that would be Mark Andrews, putting up, I do believe it was 5 receptions for 73 yards. He's another one of those tight ends that, years past, he was in that mix of some of the best tight ends. You haven't really heard too much about him here these last couple of years because, Lamar Jackson's more of a running back than he is a quarterback, but that's, my opinion. We're not going to talk about that one too much because, he didn't get to play. Mostly because, I've seen that he basically took himself out of that game when he tweeted it that he wasn't going to be playing. It wasn't even necessarily decided that he wasn't able to play. So he kind of took himself out of that game, so he kind of takes himself out of the situation. But one of the biggest moments of this game was actually a fumble at the goal line.
That was a good one.
That one was great. And we love, in the football community, to see big boy touchdowns.
Big boy touchdowns, bro.
Big boy touchdowns.
Couldn't breathe afterwards.
1 yard line. All right, get this. I'm gonna lay the scene out for you. 1 yard line. Baltimore threatening to score. Something real simple. Quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe it happened in a game that I haven't watched, or what. I've seen quarterback sneaks get stopped, but it's not often that you see a quarterback sneak try to go over the top and lose the ball right at the top of the pile, right before crossing the goal line. Smacked out of his hand, straight into the defender's hands. Hubbard, that would be.
Just like cradled it, like a baby.
And Hubbard took off running. He ran for his life, being chased down by every one of them little Ravens. Every one of them, all trying to get a piece of that. He just ran and ran and ran. 98 yards later, he had a touchdown, and it was great. Now I will say this: there's one thing that I do want to say, that I will give it up to Mark Andrews, because he chased and chased and chased, and he almost got there. He just couldn't quite finish it off. One block, and
He got
You
a
know.
little hungry and tried to eat some dirt.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he did. He tried to chase him down that 98 yards, and man, about 2 minutes later, they pivot over to the sideline, and Hubbard's over there getting him a little bit of oxygen. He deserved it too.
I mean, boy, big boy was running.
Oh, he was running for his life, man, and it was great.
You
Like I
can
said,
tell he wasn't built for speed, man.
he wasn't built for speed, but he was booking it, man. He was, like I said, he was running for his life. He had all them little Ravens chasing after him.
They never ran that fast and that long before.
Yeah, 98 yards for the score, and it was great. It was really awesome to watch. You got all three of us sitting over here screaming, "Run, run, run!" and he was chugging along, man. Like I said, you love to see big boy touchdowns. Yes, and actually that was one of our guesses that we did get right. So which kind of brings us over to our last game. I didn't get it right. But let's put it like this. I was rooting for both teams to lose. Okay?
Who wasn't?
I was rooting for both teams to lose. One of them, it has to do with a couple players. One of them only has to do with one player.
That's crazy.
And that would be Dallas and Tampa Bay.
That's
And not gonna lie, I didn't expect this game to go the way that it did. So we did have.
Don't want to let us in?
I get it. Okay, all right. Y'all kicked the door in the first round, but let's see if y'all do it in the second round. Tampa
We play
Bay
like that. We play
fell to
like that.
Dallas. Tampa Bay fell to Dallas. 31-14. And this game, I'm not even gonna lie. By the time we was halfway through this game, I was actually kind of feeling bad for Tom Brady. He just could not get his offense in sync that first half of that game. And I do believe he was shut out in the first half. So he actually did not score his 2 touchdowns until the second half. He just couldn't, man.
Twice before he could.
Yeah, his receivers were running one way. He was throwing the ball the other way. Nobody was in sync. And they just, for whatever reason, could not get in sync. And it just, at the end of the day, they did, manage to get a few good plays down the field. But it was just too little, too late.
But okay, we can't. It's all right. It's all right. We're gonna trash on. We'll trash on Cowboys a little bit. Mahar.
Yeah, poor Maher. He just.
Mahar.
Yeah, Maher just could not get it going, man. It's all right. You miss 1 extra point. It's all right if you might miss 2 extra points. 3 extra points. No, that shouldn't have. No, that's not even. The second one was questionable. The third one it shouldn't happen. But to go and miss
third, I would not be having a kicker.
To go and miss 4 extra points in a row
And not make 1
is absolutely insane. Now, he did end up making 1. He did go 1 for 5. But to miss 4 extra points in a row.
Nah, I felt bad for him.
Well, we all felt bad for him, and you could see the look on his face. It was killing him, the fact that he was missing this.
How? He's like, he had the biggest, like, how is this happening look. Like, it was 2 to the right, 1 to the left, and then the 4th one right over, just outside.
Yep, just right over. And, at least the 5th one, he put it right down the middle. But, no, it was insane watching that, man, because it's like, you see a missed kick here and there, and, at the level that these guys play at, it's so you don't want to say a give me, because that right there is the proof that it's not a give me, but it's almost automatic. And then to see him go out there and him actually being one of the best kickers in the league, in my opinion, he missed 3 kicks all year long to go and miss 4 kicks in the playoffs. So he missed one more kick in the playoff than he's missed all year. 17 games. 17 games. He missed 3 kicks.
Out there.
No, it didn't look. There was memes out there before the game was even over with. I'd get on Facebook, you scroll 2 posts, and all of a sudden you see Brett Maher and some kind of meme making fun of the fact that he missed. Actually, one of my favorite ones was somebody had posted Jerry Jones' Twitter and was like, "Is there anybody in the stands that can kick? We got a jersey for you on the field." And that was great. So as far as the next thing goes, talking about this, I mean, I touched that already. Brady went 35 for 66 for 351 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So yeah, his stats were good, and you got to give it up to Brady. He did the best he could to try to keep this team winning, and it's just it's absolutely insane because one player cannot beat a team, and with Dallas, that's what you had. Everybody was just on point. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I have to give my props to Dak Prescott going 25 of 33, 305 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He was on fire. Not gonna lie. Nah, I will say this: they can play like that next week.
If they can play like that next week, I'm not gonna give them the win, but I'm definitely gonna say it'll be a good game. Without because I don't want to give it away who they're playing until we get around to getting our picks and stuff like that.
Twitch, what do you say for that? What do you say for the Cowboys? How do you think? How do you think they did? What's your input on this Tom Brady versus the Cowboys?
Who's that?
You.
You, Twitch.
Oh, me? I'm sorry. I didn't hear my name. Sorry. Yeah. I absolutely enjoyed it. I'm not a big fan of the Buccaneers, but the Cowboys brought it, man, and I enjoyed every second of it.
Like I said, that play where we picked up 15 yards and the reverse play, they would have been ahead way more if they hadn't done that.
That's true. I am a little concerned about Russell Gage, though. He got a pretty good clothesline there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
His head taken almost.
What was it? 2 minutes. 2 minutes 55 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Tampa Bay's making a drive down the field. They're going in. They were still down. They only had 7 points. They were going in for their next touchdown. Tom Brady threw a pass to Russell Gage a little bit behind him. He turned around to try to catch it, and he did take a shot to the back of the head and neck. Switch, you had read up on what his injuries were, right? Can you touch on that a little bit?
I looked into it a little bit. I couldn't find much other than he's got a concussion and possible neck injuries. What that entails, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to be coming back for the playoffs anytime soon.
Which is very unfortunate.
Well, I mean, Tampa Bay's knocked out of the playoffs anyways, but
yeah, but I mean.
But he probably does have a good little road to recovery. You did say that in the article, it did say that he did have full, working extremities, right?
Yeah, he was able to move everything.
All right, well, at least that's a good sign, and then we wish him, the best in his recovery. Bernard, I kind of want you to touch on this one a little bit as far as Dallas and Tampa Bay, because you picked Dallas in here. I'm the only one that didn't pick Dallas. I went with Tampa Bay because okay, all right. Go ahead, get your jokes out now. I was the only one that picked Tampa Bay because I did not expect Brady to play the way, well, not Brady play the way that he did, but his team to absolutely shit the bucket. Like I said, I read off his stats, and I mean, he did everything he could to try to, keep him in that game, and it's just when he needed his team to step up the most, he just could not get it. Ferno, would you go ahead and elaborate on this a little bit?
As I said, last episode, tired of Tom Brady being in here. Uh, I did want the Cowboys to win. They didn't have to disrespect the Buccaneers as they did, but a win is a win. Um, but I truly hope that next game the Cowboys will lose to just get them out of the Super Bowl. If there was a way that you could like kick both of them out, in one match,
All right,
you
all
know,
right.
yeah.
All right, get out of here.
Now Baker's over here trying to mute Ferno. He said, "I don't want to hear all this." Um, well, I mean, touching on that Ferno, because now that kind of leads us into the next part of it. I think that may end up happening. As far as having Dallas out in the next round, because they're going to have a really, really, really tough matchup ahead of them when they go and play San Francisco. Touched on it a second ago. San Francisco is one hell of a team. They could run the ball. They could throw the ball. Their defense has been absolutely phenomenal all year. They're ranked number 2 in the NFC, only second to Philadelphia, the almost undefeated Eagles. Yeah, I don't see them getting past San Francisco. I do see it. And I'll give it to this. If they play the way that they did this past game in San Francisco, this is going to be a great game, hands down. But unless for some reason Brock Purdy just can't, pull another trick out of his hat, if he's finally ran out of his little magic tricks, Mr. Irrelevant, then they might squeak on past there again, but I don't see that happening. So that's actually, we're going to go into the first one. We're going to be, throwing our picks out there again. So we'll say first one, I'm going San Francisco as my winning team for next week between San Francisco and Dallas. Beer, you want to go ahead and give me yours? And
I know it's not gonna be likely. I'm gonna go with Cowboys. No. I'm gonna stick with them until they're out. I mean, it may be next game, it may not. But if they can play like the way they did, you know, I I can. That's gonna be a really good game. Like, I look forward to it. Uh, I hope that can. I mean, somehow if they play better, then we got a chance. But other than that, they have. If they play like Buccaneers did, then it's not gonna happen. It's definitely not gonna happen. Like I said, like you just said, San Francisco's dominant. I'm not taking any or discouraging anything they've done, but let's stick with Cowboys.
well, I don't blame you. I mean, it is your team. I mean, if my team was in there, I'd want to stick to them to the end too, even though that is definitely going to be a tough matchup. Ferner, you want to go ahead and give me your pick for this one, San Francisco versus Dallas?
San Francisco.
He didn't even hesitate. He just went straight San Francisco. San Francisco. Briscoe, baby.
Why are you picking? Huh? Just besides you don't like Cowboys.
I don't like Cowboys.
Exactly.
As a Houston fan, they don't play that good, but Houston's are rivaled with Dallas, so
whatever.
If Houston can win, Dallas can't either.
Good kid.
So basically, he's just going with the same mentality that I did. So I'm here for it. I don't blame him at all. Switch, go ahead and give me your input as far as.
Do you absolutely have to ask me? I mean, it's definitely Cowboys, man.
Well, I mean, I still wanted to ask you. I still want to get your input on it.
Yeah, it's definitely Cowboys. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the 49ers whatsoever. But whoever you put up against Cowboys, I'm rooting for the Cowboys no matter what.
So basically, it's just yeah. I don't.
I know, kid.
It's just to me, it's so hard to go against. I don't know. It's just Frisco the way they played this year. Even if I wanted to root for Dallas, I just don't think I could. I just don't think I'd be able to. Um, so that goes into the next game. We're gonna stick with the NFC, and we're gonna go New York versus Philadelphia. As much as I'd like to root for Danny Dimes in this one, I don't know. Philadelphia has dominated all year. Um, I'm only taking one underdog pick this week, and I'm not wasting that on New York, so I'm going Philadelphia. Hopefully they can.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say. I figured you'd waste it on Cowboys, but against the 49ers, doubt it.
No, that's not happening, buddy.
They make it,
I know you'd probably
They
like
make it.
that, but I don't
If
think
they make
that's.
it next, if they make it past 49ers, you switch it up, all right? You gotta go Cowboys. Root for them, all right? I'll send you a jersey and everything. Take a picture
Nope.
with
Nope.
it.
We're not even. We're not even going there. Beth, no, go ahead and give me your pick. New York versus Philadelphia.
That's a tough pick for me. I'm about evenly fond of both teams, but I'm thinking I'm going to stick with Giants. I went with Giants last time.
Okay, so you're basically just going with what it is that you know. Okay, that's fair. I mean, why not stick with the team that got you where you got? So,
Right.
I don't blame you. Pep, no. Would you
Let's talk 31.99.
would you like to put your input in there now? 'Cause, I did ask you a second ago.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said Pep, no. It's okay. Switch answered for you.
You kind of looked. Anyways, I'm gonna have to go with Philly.
Jesus.
Travis, you might want to fix your microphone.
What we got going on?
A little bit of background.
Yeah, a little bit of background noise. Yeah. Nothing too bad. Just can hear myself. Yeah. But as I said, I would go with Philly. Um, I'm not saying that the 49ers are a bad team. I just.
Sir?
You're on the wrong
Eagles, you mean?
teams here. Do y'all still hear it?
Oh my fault. Hello.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Giants or Eagles?
It's Giants and Eagles, but you're on the whole wrong game here. We've done
Giants.
talk about San
My
Francisco
fault.
and Dallas.
My fault. My fault.
He's just putting up
I'm trying
next card,
Yeah, whatever Switch for, I'm totally on Switch.
So Giants again.
Man, stick to what you know. I mean, they got you there. Okay, so we're going to go
I
ahead
don't
and
know
switch
anything.
over to what I think is probably going to be the game of the playoffs. And I say that for two reasons. First off, these are two really, really, really good teams. But second off, this is a matchup that we were supposed to already have. And, of course, because of the whole DeMar Hamlin situation and stuff like that, we did not actually get to see. And that is going to be Cincinnati versus Buffalo. That is going to be a hard game to decide on who it is that I want to win that one. And you got Joe Burrow on one side playing out of this world. You got Josh Allen on the other side doing just as good, if not a little bit better. And I think honestly, this is going to come down to whose defense can hold who. And defensively wise, also they're two really great, really high respected defenses. But I think I'm going to go ahead and take Buffalo over Cincinnati just because Cincinnati made it to the Super Bowl last year, I think it's Josh Allen's turn to go this year. So I'm going to take Buffalo over Cincinnati.
That's fair.
So what you want to go ahead and
I'm going to stick with the Bengals because that play, that fumble, may have been a lucky play, but they still played really good that game. So I'm sticking with Cincinnati.
sticking with Cincinnati? I mean, and look, and this is one of those games that it can go either way with the way these two teams play. Um, Either one of these teams could take it. So I mean, this is going to be one of those when it comes down to that final tick on the clock. We'll know who wins it, but before that, I don't think anybody's really got a great statistical guess on who's going to win this game. Baker, you want to go ahead and give me your guess?
Sticking with Cincinnati as well. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to them. I mean, they played really well last game. They did what they had to as a team, and they held up their part. And I feel like if they continue to do that and do, if more, even more, then I see them getting the win. I mean,
Okay. Well, I mean, they did, and like I said, I don't know exactly what happened in the whole Buffalo game, but just from reading the stats from that, I mean, you could definitely see where Buffalo, played good, but it's just, that's just still one of those hard games to pick. Ferno, you want to go ahead and give me your pick for Cincinnati and Buffalo?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. So y'all really gonna make me the odd man out again on another game this
Yeah,
week? Y'all are gonna make me the odd man out.
we're gonna make this a trend.
Yeah,
That,
we got to
that
keep
that's
it
what we're
interesting.
doing here. That's and I look. This might not even be the only odd game, the odd one I'm out. The only one picking. Well, maybe not. Speaker might go with me on this next pick. So the next game we got coming up is actually going to be Jacksonville and Kansas City. This is another one of those situations like with Tom Brady. I do not want to see Patrick Mahomes in another Super Bowl yet. Maybe next year. I don't want to see him in one this year. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Jacksonville as my underdog pick for this week, beating Kansas City. The way that they played last week against the Chargers, and just the thing that what they were able to accomplish coming back from a 27-point deficit, and Trevor Lawrence playing the way that he did coming out in that second half. I think if they could start hot like that, like they finished this week, I think it's going to be really hard for Kansas City to keep up with them because just the way that they played was absolutely phenomenal. As good as Kansas City is, I think, like I said, if they can get on that hot streak and stay on that hot streak like they did, I think they blew Kansas City out of the water. I really do. Um, so I'm gonna go to you, Beaker. I want to know what your pick is, just because I want to see if you're gonna go the same direction as me.
so you are correct. I will choose Jackson. You know, and that's the only. I mean, Trevor Lawrence. You know, like I said, I hate going against him, and he proved to me why I don't go against him. Simple as that. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's that
eh,
simple. With the way that they played, it was absolutely outstanding. It was great.
yeah. I mean, if they play like that again, Chiefs don't have a chance. You know.
Um,
Um,
Switch.
uh,
What do you got for Jacksonville and Kansas City?
Well, I got a little bit of outside influence on this one, but I'm going to go with Chiefs. My neighbor absolutely swears by the Chiefs, so I'm gonna stick with his idea, and we'll say that
Look, and
KC is going to go for it.
it's okay that he swears by the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are a good team. You got Patrick Mahomes back there in the pocket. I mean, the things that he can do with a football is just amazing. But I think this, like I said, it's gonna be one of those. It depends on how Jacksonville comes out and starts. Uh, Ferno, you want to go ahead and give me your pick for this one?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. So we're going 50-50, split down the middle.
Nice.
well,
We
dang.
got me and Beegers
Um,
over here going Jacksonville. You and
yeah,
Switch
as
is
you
going
said.
Kansas City. You want to go ahead and give me a little bit of a reason why?
Well, you gotta love Patrick, but mostly I want to see Juju play. I want him to see. I want to see him get better. No, I cannot do the things he does. He does. But
He
he
do he
does.
does he does be doing that.
He does be doing. But I do want to see him as
Oh, he
a
does.
better wide receiver.
Yeah, we does like to see him get better.
We do.
No, talking on that point, Juju's probably, you know, back whenever he was with the Steelers, he was great under,
Mm-hmm.
Ben Roethlisberger, and now he's under Patrick Mahomes, another great quarterback who, throughout the years we're going to be talking about how he does this or how he's the MVP there, the records he breaks here. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he's just trending on being one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the best quarterbacks to step on the field. And with
Absolutely
Juju
agree.
being with Juju being underneath him and kind of taking on that role as like the veteran receiver. You got Juju, you got McCole Hardman. They do not have Tyreek Hill anymore because he's in Miami. So, Juju kind of fills that role, that leadership role, that veteran mentality. Like I said, I mean this is gonna be. We might have to make a little bit of a competition out of this. Being so we're splitting this one 50-50 down the middle.
Wagers?
Yeah, friendly bets. Friendly
Yeah,
bets
I
for
got
some
a
money.
cent. I got
But
a
no,
cent on Kansas City.
we're betting GTA Online money.
So there you go. Yeah.
Uh,
All right, I'll give you
Hold up,
$100.
I
I'll
gotta
bet
buy
100.
GTA so I can play GTA Online for the first time.
For the first time, man.
Yeah, man.
The past, like,
Look, bro. We had GTA 5 when I was younger, but never had online play. At the time, that's just not something that I had. But
Really?
it is what it is. Um,
all right, now it's just a money gouging game.
yeah,
Yeah, pretty
right.
much.
And then there's GTA roleplay.
Well, we don't want
Like
to know what you role play on GTA, Ferno.
I don't roleplay. I don't even have GTA roleplay.
Yeah, okay.
Let's get back to the football.
Back to the football.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well,
I got that GTA shit.
ironically, pretty sure I was it right for the.
Yes, actually, I do believe that is everything
And
as far
so
as the
that
football goes.
means Bruno.
Great.
Yeah.
So, um,
Hold on.
so what are
You got
y'all?
your notes?
Of course, I got my notes.
Oh, okay, I
So
just make sure.
yeah, it's another. Who become unprepared? What else? I want before I get into him. I want to hear y'all's opinion on Kanye West. Very,
Very
very,
controversial.
very,
Very. It's a very
very
widespread controversy. I mean, at some point, it's like
truly.
what he says is true.
He sings
But
songs, right?
No, he's a football player.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, he is a
uh,
songwriter.
no, I think he does have knowledge of what's going on behind the industry, what he's trying to expose with and whatnot. And I think he has too much money to, you know, for them to do anything. But yeah, I think he's just lost his shit completely. To put it in
Yeah.
a completely honest and flat out way. I mean, that man is loco.
Como
Uh,
deste no está.
yeah, see. So, no, but yeah, like I said, I mentioned to you before, I don't like him, but gotta admit it, the man has the media's eye, and at the same time, he doesn't.
Mhm.
So, Switch,
Um,
Switch, you have any? You don't like the guy besides he's a singer or a football player?
I don't know. I know the name. Doesn't matter.
yeah.
Actually, I knew there was a lot of rumors about him
They
becoming
call him Key
president.
West.
That would be the better.
What?
That would be the better
Actually,
question. What position would he play?
He'd be No,
He
he's kind of wide. He kind of wide, right?
Yeah,
No, he got taken out by a sign.
yeah, can't yeah,
definitely
that'd be a
now
tough
put
one, man.
Kanye
What?
West as my quarterback. I don't know
It's Key West.
about uh Travis. You have any
Do I have any input on Kanye West? Is that what you're asking me, Ferno?
yes. That is my
Oh,
exact question. How'd you know?
no, because I pay attention sometimes. Um,
Sometimes.
I can't
I do.
really say that I do. I've never really been one
Mhm.
to, listen to his music or anything like that. I've never really been one to kind of keep up with the I guess you would say like the paparazzi style things when it comes to him. I do know he's had a lot of controversial things over the years as far as, issues and run-ins that he's had with the paparazzi, as well as, the whole stuff, back in Trump and a few of the other questionable decisions that he's made beyond that. Um but as far as that goes, I mean, I can't really say that I have an opinion on him because I don't, keep up with everything it is that he does. Yeah, I hear about a few things that in, the
Mhm.
mainstream media and stuff like that, but it's more the style of things that you kind of can't avoid. So
Mhm.
can't really say that I do.
Wasn't he the one that during like Oscars or whatever, not Oscars, but like for the country music stuff, isn't he the one that badmouthed Taylor Swift when she was getting up to
Yes.
accept her
He
award?
walked on
Oh
stage,
yeah, then I
took the
definitely don't like
trophy
him.
out. He took the trophy and the microphone out of her hand and said something along the lines. I don't know the exact quote, but he said something about how she doesn't deserve it
Yeah,
and
I
there's
definitely don't like
better
him then.
singers.
Yeah, I mean anybody that's gonna
Um,
go against Swifty, we don't like. Yeah, you can get out of here. No,
mhm.
we like Taylor Swift
so
more than we like anybody else.
the problem why Kanye West is getting so much controversy right now is because he went on a certain podcast and said some certain things about a certain someone. Um,
We're
I
not talking about
don't
the
believe
mini mustache guy, are we?
we are. I don't
Uh,
know if I can say his name in his
um,
uh army.
Mini mustache guy.
okay, well, you could go ahead and say it, Ferno. It's fine. If we
Okay.
get demonetized for it, we
Kanye
get
West.
demonetized.
Kanye West did go on a certain podcast and say that he loves everyone. And he could have stopped it there, but what he went on and said, even Nazis. Now, from what I know, Kanye West did grow up as a Jew. So him saying that he loves Hitler and the Nazis um scared me. Um I don't know if y'all know much about this, but saying you love that person doesn't really isn't really good.
Well,
So what's
there's a
up?
difference. You can love somebody and hate their actions.
Mhm.
You can love them as a person, but absolutely abhor what they do and what they stand for.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So I do agree with Switch here because, and I think maybe it kind of came off the wrong way. Maybe
That's what it
whenever he
sounds
said
like.
it.
Yes, I believe that too. He
Uh,
was had the right idea, had said it wrong.
yeah, because I do believe maybe what he was trying to mean is like he doesn't hold hate in his heart for anybody, even somebody as horrible as Hitler was.
Right.
I think
Mhm.
maybe that's what he was trying to say, and now I have seen some of the interviews that Kanye West has done, and I do know people do say he's a very intellectual person. Uh, and I've seen shades of that through a few of the things that I have seen with him. But I've
Mhm.
also heard and seen some things that kind of would argue against that, and I think this right here is gonna kind of be one of those points that argues against his intellect because I think it was maybe misworded or misplaced within the topic of conversation, whatever it may have been. I think he was more meaning it of not wanting to hold hate in his heart for anybody. Like even somebody who's done so much wrong, you still don't want to hold hate in your heart because that weighs heavy on you. I mean, at the end of the day, holding hate in your heart against somebody else will always, hinder you more than it will help.
Exactly.
So I think that's kind of where he was going with it.
Yeah. But he didn't say that. So what that led to is him losing a famous shoe. I'm guaranteed y'all probably heard of it. The Adidas Yeezy.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's probably heard of those shoes.
I've heard of Adidas, but I don't know what a Yeezy is.
Oh, it's a type of shoe. You know what the Nike Air Jordan 1s are?
I don't
Probably not.
spend more than $20 on my shoes,
Okay.
so I have no
Um
idea.
so they were a collab that Kanye West made with Adidas. Um but that program or that relationship closed, I'd say, pretty shortly after he said those certain things on a certain podcast. Um, but that was mainly his only in source of income. He does make a good amount of money on his music, but you know that shoe brand did give him a lot of money, so he is out of a lot. So, but he did try to fix himself to get his company back. Even breaking up with his wife to get with a co-worker of Easy. Her name is, I'm gonna truly murder the
Bianca.
name, but Bianca Sensory. She was a Yeezy artifact, and Kanye West was apparently sexually talking to her even when he was married to Kim Kardashian.
And
Um,
how is this supposed
but
to help?
Yeah, how is this him
uh,
fixing himself?
I truly do not know. That's just something that people
Sounds
are
more like he's
saying that
digging
he's trying to
himself a
do.
hole.
Yep.
I guess the only way I could see this being a thing is maybe
If she had.
I don't know, maybe the ties that she has with Yeezy itself could maybe have
Mhm.
something to do with it. But also, not only that is, I mean, you take somebody like Kim Kardashian out of the picture, your limelight kind of drops a little bit as far as your exposure because of course, the name
Mhm.
Kardashian always manages to pop up somewheres. And every topic of
Yeah.
conversation when it comes to celebrities, the name Kardashian always manages to pop up. Maybe that's what he was trying to do, as far as like actually going through with that. Because who's to say these celebrities they try to keep up this image and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Who's to even say that they were together at that time, anyways? Maybe it was just something they finally got finalized. I mean, there's no telling, and even being so open about everything that goes on in your life as when you're a celebrity because you've always got the
Mhm.
media, you've always got the paparazzi. They're always somewhere. They're always looking for that next big story, whether it be about you or hell, even your neighbor or Joe Blow down the street, whoever we talking about. Um, so you kind of really give up your privacy, but that's not saying that you still can't keep things private, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yes. So Kanye West married Bianca Censori only 2 months after the Kim Kardashian marriage was his divorce was finalized. Uh, a lot of people were surprised, especially right before Hulu was introducing the Kim Kardashian like series, I guess. So I don't know if Kanye West had anything or knew about that, but truly crazy. And well, it wouldn't surprise me if this was a PR stunt, because a lot of PR stunts happen with Kanye West and all the Kardashians, not just
Yeah, but the
Kim.
where it kind of gets me at is I mean, I can definitely see it being a publicity stunt
Mhm.
on
Mhm.
Kanye's side of things, but you know,
Was there a prenup?
was there a
Was there a
prenup?
prenup?
Hold up, that's a good question.
I don't know, but Kanye West did leave Kim Kardashian with 4 kids.
Man
I
said he was
mean,
going to get the milk. I'm just saying.
So is,
I was gonna say that's just like normal now. I mean, at least he has money. He can take care of his kids.
so is he going to be
Most of
paying
these
child
guys don't
support?
have money
Um,
and have like 4 kids. You know.
Mhm. But his kids don't even like him, so.
Oh, so,
So
But
and it is
it,
the
it
mother's rich. What do you mean? But it's not like they're get out of here with all that. Leave it with
but
4 kids. Okay.
look, I'm
it
I'm
has
gonna
been
Oh, my life's so traumatic. I got to swim in my fucking 20-foot pool, or I got to play with my mansion, hide and seek with my siblings. You know, in the 28 bedrooms.
yeah, and you got a mansion. We had to play hide and seek. They made us play inside because Dad wasn't there to watch us because he divorced Mommy.
Yeah,
Okay,
now we could go outside.
okay. Oh, we had one less
get
butler
Alfred
because
to watch us.
yeah, we had one less butler because he left and we didn't need the extra butler. That makes sense. See, and you know we're talking about this. We're talking about money wise. Who has more of a net worth? Can you know one of y'all figure that out? Like who has more of a
I'm gonna
net
go
worth,
Uh,
Kim Kardashian or
Kim. I'm
Kanye?
gonna go with Kim.
I'm believing that it's probably going to be Kim too.
Here, y'all. What do y'all think Kim Kardashian's?
I don't know. I'm going about 45 million.
No, it's bigger.
Yeah, I was
Bigger?
gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, much bigger.
Man.
She's almost a billionaire.
All right. Well,
Might
go
as
ahead and
well
throw
be.
some numbers out there.
1.8
One
billion.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's about a billion
1.8.
because
1.8.
her sister.
What does
Yeah,
she
her
do?
sister's.
I mean, aside from making
Ah,
a corn video with who was it, Ray J? What does she do? I mean, I'm a little
Reality
confused here.
shows. Um, well, I'm sure she has clothing
Look,
lines. She
I
runs
just
businesses that she runs. I'm pretty sure multiple businesses that make her money on top of being on a reality show. It's not besides. I'm sure she's got I think the stocks that make her money. Rich people normally invest in stocks, right? If
hell
they
if I know.
actually,
I'm not rich. I couldn't tell you what they invest in, but I do want to take a step back because you threw it out there twice. The word reality. And these reality shows, there's nothing reality about any of that shit. There's
I,
nothing realistic
I
about it.
know there's not.
yeah.
I
I mean,
know
hell,
that. That's just the title.
there's only one Kardashian that's even got one real piece of them
Oh,
left,
yeah,
and
oh, don't pull up
that's
the nine.
the youngest. I mean, what's her name? What she's Kendall? Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
youngest's
Kendall
name.
Cash. Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds like
she's
a name.
probably the only
Sounds like
one
a Kim
that
Kardashian.
still have some kind of real um how would you say that, real features to her.
she's
Everything's
all
fake
Yeah,
about the
natural.
I
yeah,
could.
all natural.
Yeah,
Everything's fake
I
about all
feel
the
that.
rest of them. So
Mhm.
so did we get a net worth for Kanye?
400
I have
million.
both networks. I just want to see. Uh,
Kanye's 400 million.
Yeah.
God,
oh, it
people, stop
was Kim
losing.
Kardashian's.
Stop getting Yeezys. What the heck? Like, why is it?
Kim Kardashian's network is 1.8 billion,
Okay,
which I'm pretty
so
sure
she
Switch made up looked up before I asked. Or
yeah.
before I asked him.
Switch
Yeah,
gave us the 1.8 billion already. So
I made 400 off of freaking Yeezys.
Kanye
yo,
West's
look,
network
I hope there was a
plummets from
prenup.
he had 2 billion and now he only has 400 million. Imagine
He
having
only.
2 billion and going down to 400 million.
That's what
Well, it's all
happened when
that
you leave a
alimony
family.
and the child support and losing the Yeezys.
Yeah. Okay,
Partnership.
so
Yep.
that you got to also think that's not all liquidated funds.
Right.
So if he did lose his sponsorship with Yeezy, that's gonna knock down his net worth as well as if they're getting divorced, somebody's getting something.
Right.
I don't even know how long they've been married for. I don't think prenups were a thing whenever they got married, so somebody was getting something.
I didn't know they were married until Fevno told us that they got divorced.
Well, that makes you and me both.
So I believe that they were together when Kim Kardashian cheated on Kanye West with Pete Patterson. I don't know his last name. Hold on.
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson, my fault.
Yo,
Yes.
okay, so I just want to throw this out there because I know we didn't have this on the whole topic thing. Pete Davidson. This man has probably dated every
His
one of
list is
he's
Bro's
probably
gotta be
dated
packing.
every single chick that's on every guy's dream list of women.
besides Kim.
No, that's what he just said, that he was
Yeah.
messing with
Did
Kim too.
Well, for me, like no. Dude.
Oh no,
Not
Kim's
like-
not on your list, but I'm just saying, like 9 out of 10, if you had a list of 10 girls, he's probably done been with them, no matter who they are. Like Ferno said, this man's got to be like packing or something, or maybe he's really funny
Yeah, he's just funny, bro.
because he's not the best looking person in the world. I mean, he's not ugly, but he ain't the best looking person in the world. Not to be dating these supermodels.
Not dissing anyone with tattoos, but all those tattoos don't really wind up with his face.
His
I love
face doesn't
tattoos.
line up with his face. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I mean, if anybody ever actually really looked at Pete Davidson long enough not to before they start laughing, then maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's funny, and maybe that man's just, I don't know. I don't know what he's got that most men don't have. Because I mean, this dude's dated some of the hottest women in Hollywood, and it's just
Connections. He's got connections.
he's got something.
Let me hook up with his connections.
That's what I'm saying.
How do you
Maybe we all need to get those connections.
How does the connections? What do they introduce you? You just get together? Like, what does that? No, like these girls genuinely like get in relationships, go public with him.
Unless he
And
is
look, go
a
public
regular.
with them, and then whenever
Bro,
they
he's
break
funny
up
and
or
packing.
heard about
There's
it.
no other way. Funny and packing.
I believe I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure he was messing with Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, there's
I'm not
rumors and
100%
speculations about that, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look into that too much because
I don't believe that
Nah.
I did hear about that.
yeah, I don't believe that that's a thing. But I mean, it's just, well, at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, considering his track record, considering the people that he's been with, you would think at some point in time these women would be like, well, I mean, he ain't stayed with the other 20 of them before me. I don't know. It's
More
just
like
it's
200.
insane. Well, I mean, I was just we're only not paraphrasing, but we're only counting the X amount before. We only go in intervals of 20.
I mean, just like Leonardo DiCaprio, I do not believe he can have anyone over the age of 21. Like the second they hit 18 and they're popular, he's on them. And he's in it. And then he's out. And then he's in. And then he's gone.
I mean, I don't know. And wait, what do you mean, Leonardo DiCaprio? Hold up, we need to back up for a second here. How does Leonardo DiCaprio get roped into the same fucking vicinity as Pete Davidson?
He just doesn't date anyone his age. Just dates
Look,
younger women.
who's he with right now? I know he's with somebody. Who's he with?
I got no clue.
No
You
idea.
got
know.
a computer right in front of you.
How does he get roped into it? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm genuinely curious on.
He's currently dating a 23-year-old model, Victoria Lambs.
Okay.
He is 47 and dating a 23-year-old. It has been said at the Emmys. I don't believe y'all watch the Emmys. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, who watches the Emmys? But other actors have said that Leonardo DiCaprio does not date anyone above the age of 25, and it's he left, but it is true.
Yeah,
You go through all the people he's dated, they were all in the age of 20 through 25. I don't know if y'all knew that, but I'm just a little
I didn't
I
know
don't.
that.
I could slide in there.
that
I
sounds
don't
very
know if
exciting.
that's a real thing or not. I mean, I have to go through
It
his.
is.
I'd
Well,
have to go
you
through and
have to
look.
do.
I don't know. I'd have to do some research into that one because I don't. I mean, yeah, and look, I'm gonna put it like this, man. If you're 47 years old and you can pull a 23-year-old model, tell me you wouldn't.
I mean, you can't tell me Leonardo DiCaprio looks 47.
No, hell no. Look, Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio is he's on that list, and I'm sure y'all know what list I'm
Him and
talking
Tom
about.
Cruise, they do not look their age, but they use special things that us normal folk do not have access upon.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
If you know what I mean.
look, like I said, I mean, Tom Cruise, he doesn't make my list, but like Beaker knows what list I'm talking about, and I'm sure Switch knows too. Ferno, you might be too young for that, but Leonardo DiCaprio probably definitely makes that
Ow.
list, along with,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say it because I'm gonna give it away. Matthew McConaughey and Ryan Reynolds. He makes the list with those two.
Oh.
Honestly, Jason
Yes.
Statham for me as well.
Well, I
Alright.
mean, Jason Statham makes it too, but I mean, I wasn't going into the list. I just know that those were the two that I could put out there that I knew it would get a little smile on Beaker's face because he knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, I knew what you were talking about before, but yeah, Jason Statham as well.
Yeah.
Truly, how can you hate him?
How can you hate Ryan Reynolds? If there's anybody on this
How
planet that,
can you even just dislike him?
well, that's what I'm saying. If there's anybody on this planet that doesn't like Ryan Reynolds, they're an alien. So
I looked up his
if you
wife.
come across somebody who says that they don't like Ryan Reynolds, y'all go ahead and get in contact with Area 51 because one of their specimens got loose. Okay, let's go ahead.
Oh,
Speaking of aliens, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. Switch has got something really interesting to talk to y'all about.
I mean, it's not an alien,
No, it's
but
not an
it's
alien, but
astronomical.
it is. So we got our resident astronauts in here today. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off to him.
Yeah, so we got an icy green comet that was discovered March 2nd of 2022. Sorry, and I find it interesting because my favorite color is green. Anyway, I digress. So they named it C-2022 E3 ZTF. It was discovered by astronomers Bryce Bolin and Frank Massey. I think that's how you pronounce that Frank's last name. I'm not sure. Uh, by the Zwicky Transient Facility using a wide field survey camera at
or
Polymer.
ZTF.
Yeah, that's the
The
ZTF.
ZTF. Yeah.
Yeah, the wide field survey camera at Polymer Observatory, in California. The comet was originally thought to be an asteroid, but subsequent observations, I can't speak, sorry, wordification's hard, revealed it had a very condensed coma, indicating it was indeed a comet. It's a long orbit, so it takes thousands of years to come and go, and it's orbiting around the sun. It
This is how I said 50,000 years was the last one.
Yeah, it hadn't been. Human eyes haven't seen it for at least 50,000 years.
Ah.
That's a long
Wow.
lot of years.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
older than you.
when yeah, no, I was almost born when that happened the last time.
I think I was just born. I might have missed it. I was
Yeah.
probably just in the hospital when it happened.
Yeah, 50,000 years, man. Switch was a teenager at that point.
Right?
Um, so when is the comment?
Just might have seen it.
When is the comet going to be visible to the naked eye?
This is why you picked the topic.
January 21st. It'll be starting to be visible.
So January
Wait, for
21st
how
it'll be
long?
visible.
Right, in the northern hemisphere. So if you look toward Polaris or even the North Star,
I don't know
if you're
what
on
those are.
the northern, just look northwest, and
Mhm.
you should
Oh.
see a green smudge.
Okay, so Ferno had brought up a good question just now. How long does it say how long the in the orbit will we be able to see it?
Until February 15th, I think. And my notes, y'all are asking questions that I haven't got to yet.
Oh,
Wait, it's gonna shown on the
So-
25th, and then it's gonna be. Okay.
so from the 21st to the 15th of February.
Yeah,
Oh, the 21st.
yeah.
My fault. My fault.
So that's
But
what.
you won't be able to see it with the naked eye until February 1st, I don't believe. Anything
First.
else, you'll need either binoculars or a telescope.
Well,
I have.
you know what I'm gonna go do tomorrow? Buy me a damn telescope because I'm gonna look at it every single day until it's out of orbit.
I have.
Mm.
You have
They're gonna-
3
Yeah.
telescopes?
You gonna share?
Come
I need
on.
one.
Yeah.
You think I live out on property and wouldn't have a telescope to look at the night sky? Come on.
Yeah,
I
but
live out on
3 of
property,
them?
don't have one.
Yeah, one better than the next.
He has
I
one
just try to-
set in every other direction. Gotta watch for
He's
those
got them
guys.
all in circles around him.
Yeah, pretty much. You look
cameras
around,
pointed
you don't have
in-
to readjust any of the other ones as
Yeah.
far as
That way he doesn't have to turn the telescope. He can keep it looked at whatever it is. Whatever window he's looking through, he can still see through it.
Getting close to your neighbors, are you?
that's why I put trees. I don't want them seeing me.
Look, I do say that we do not condone peeping toms. So from the 21st of this month, which is from the time of this recording, is in 2 days from now.
Saturday.
Saturday, January 21st, 2023 to whatever day it will be, February 15th of 2023.
So between February 13th and 15th, it'll be 1.5 degrees from Mars.
okay. So if y'all don't
Whoa.
know, that's 1.5 degrees from Mars.
Yep.
I don't know how you figure out what 1.5 degrees is, when you're
I
standing on
couldn't
the
tell you.
ground, but it's going to be 1.5 degrees from Mars. No,
Which
this
way-
is
like west
interesting.
or, like, which side of Mars? Like which side are we looking at? Like from us or on the other side?
I
The
mean,
round side?
We have,
if
we
you
have to go
if you
outer
can find
space
Mars
and
and
look at
then
the
look at a green smudge, I'm sure that's it.
So basically, what he's saying is
As
if
long
you
as
go,
you look at Mars, you should be good.
yeah,
Right,
just look
exactly.
at Mars, zoom out a little bit, and when you see the green splotch in the telescope,
can't-
just know nobody flicked a booger. That's it. I mean,
Right. If you can't find Mars and you have a smartphone, there is an app
Oh,
or several apps really that like Galaxy Map or something like that, that you can just use your phone and look at all the constellations and everything like that.
hey,
And
there's a
you should be able to
website for
find it
that.
easy.
there's
Yeah.
a website for that. That's
There's a
why
web-
I'm laughing. That's why I'm laughing.
Oh man, there's a website for that, guys.
Gotta give out websites.
Yeah,
Right.
look, Switch is the website guy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just it is what it is. He's
There's a link
he's the
for that.
website guy. There's a link for that. There's a website for that. I mean, hell, there's an app for
There's an
that.
app for that.
But no, this is interesting. I mean,
I've figure out where I live.
I've always kind of had like a little bit of an interest in space, and then I kind of lost it as I got older, and bringing this topic back up, talking about it, it kind of re-brought that interest into it, because space is one of those things that is so vast, and there's, as much as we think that we know about it, there's just so much more out there.
Right. And it's not just the space that's interesting. There's chemistry in it too.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
all of it combined. I mean, it's everything. The chemistry of it, the space itself, and the different atmospheres on each planet, and the way that we orbit around the sun. I mean, everything about the whole creation of it in general, and it's a work of art. And like I said, we may know just this minute decimal point of a percentage of space's capabilities and what's really out there, and I'm not meaning like extraterrestrial, because we do know that those exist, we just nobody wants to admit it.
Right.
I mean, it just things that are so vast and so far out that it's amazing. and
Yeah.
and the way that the universe corrects itself in one way and puts itself out in another, it's insane. And I don't know, it's just it's interesting
Yeah,
because there's always something new to learn about it.
yeah.
I learned a little bit of chemistry when I was researching. So the comet gets its green color from something called diatomic carbon, also known as C2. Uh, when it's
I think
excited
so.
by solar ultraviolet radiation, the C2 molecule emits mostly in the infrared spectrum, though it has a triplet state, which I did a little research on that, and I wasn't 100% sure what it was talking about. But essentially, a triplet state is an abstract concept that characterizes a particle's intrinsic angular momentum.
Okay, you just
Well,
like
that's a lot of
spoke a
big words.
whole different language to me.
Chemistry.
I'm gonna need you to kind of
I
break
got
that
you.
one
Sorry.
down for me a little bit.
I got
Can you
I
put
you
that
you
in
had me at like
American
whenever we
for
was
me real
talking about
quick?
like the ultraviolet charge, and I got that, and showing up on the I got that part, but you just completely lost me there at the end, bud. I mean,
Mhm.
Sorry about that.
Uh,
I mean, I don't know exactly what I'm talking about here. Just reading my notes. I mean, I kind of understand a little bit of it, just enough to know that it's talking about scientific stuff.
yeah. Well, I look, you know how I know when something's talking about sciencey stuff, when it sounds like it's coming in a different language, but they're still speaking English.
Right.
Um, that's how I know they're talking about sciencey stuff. Um, but no, it's just interesting because you're looking up this topic, researching this, taking a look into it. You've expanded your knowledge as well as helping expand ours and the people that's listening. It's just at the same time, that knowledge that we gain, there's still so much more left out there to understand. That even in our lifetimes, by the time we're gone, and our children and our children's children, we
Our bloodline
may
will be gone.
yeah, we may reach that 1% of knowledge to the universe, to outer space, to these different galaxies and stuff like that. We can't say that we know a lot about it when we don't even know much about you know the galaxy that we live in, let alone what else might be out there. So it's all interesting whenever you think about it. Like whenever you really break it down to like what it is that we actually know, and what it is that we don't.
Right. There's something going on with the orbit as well. So, like, this might be an actual once in a lifetime, once in a millennia thing because the orbits, they're not 100% sure. The comet will either leave the solar system altogether or return in many millions of years, depending on. That's a big word.
So
Uh,
basically, the lines of the solar system are kind of shifting themselves this year.
I think it's getting like a gravity assist with Jupiter because it was in not just a solar orbit; it was in orbit with the the sun and Jupiter.
Okay, so it was making its way around both then, or
Right. Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I wonder what a comet sounds like.
what a comet sounds like.
Yeah.
There's no sound in space.
That'd be an interesting question. And there is actually sound in space.
There's no
Yeah, Travis, there
traveling
is sound
sound.
in space.
There's no traveling sound in space, so I don't know if you would even hear anything.
Not with the naked ear, I don't think.
No, you would have to use like
It's also
sonograms
gonna be
and
naked.
stuff like that.
Right.
Sonogram?
Yeah.
What's that gonna be?
What you? Yeah. Well, I mean, it is. It's still
I know.
sonograms. I mean, it's still the same, technology that they'd use to map out the I guess the sound waves that it would put off if you could actually hear it out there.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those interesting topics that you could almost sit here and talk about it all day, and
Right.
sitting here and talking about it. Beaker, I do believe you have some. You're our second resident astronaut. That you have a little something you want to talk about?
Yeah. No. So we have apparently two supermassive black holes merging. They're about 750 light years apart, which is pretty close. It's the closest we've ever seen it. Um, but it would still, not to worry, take about 100 million years before anything happens. Now, the masses of these black holes. I mean, they have one 150 million times the mass of our sun, or 125 million times the mass of our sun, and another one 200 million times the mass of our sun. Um, and yeah, they were. I mean, they were found pretty much uh about 500 million light years away. So, and even though it's so far, we'd still be able to feel the effects. Like,
Man, I
um,
wish there was a way to put like you said 500 million light years. I wish there was a way that we could put that into like some kind of relative distance.
no,
It
it's
would
just
take you
so
500 million years to get there
yeah.
at the speed
So
of light.
yeah, so that's just crazy to think. Like our solar system, our galaxy, all that is so big and vast. Like you said, it's like events happen. So, and they say these have like not super like massive black holes merging all the time, but just black holes in general merging. And I read that they read or that they saw or discovered that two regular sized black holes merging together ate up about the mass of 8 of our suns. Everything gone.
Did they give you
Uh,
any kind of I know they had said that what the mass difference was between our sun and these two massive ones that are supposed to collide. Did they give a mass difference from the two regular ones that they said took up eight times of our sun?
uh,
Or
no,
did they?
they didn't have they were just regular, uh, small black holes. They weren't considered supermassive black holes like, these. So,
I
It,
just was wondering that way to see if we could kind of put some kind of relative number on it.
if you wanted to get a good number, if you have a calculator, viewers can do the same. The speed of light is 670,616,629 miles per hour. Now, if you were to take that number and then multiply it by how far did you say it was, bigger?
500 million light years.
Yeah, 500 million times 670 million, and that's how long it would, or that's how far it is.
I don't think we got a calculator in the world that's got a long enough screen to, fit that number.
Yeah.
I
That's why I
just
said
So
it's just
about
at this point it's untrackable. What's up, Ferno?
about black holes, they suck in stuff, right? There's a white hole exist, and would it suck out stuff? And if it is sucking out stuff, what would it suck out?
Uh,
Light, everything.
no.
Well, I mean, a black hole sucks in light. Well, that's the reason. There's no such thing as a white hole. I mean, I get what he's saying. I mean, is there kind of
Yeah.
like a flip side to it?
Mhm.
A
There
black hole.
theoretically
Where
is.
is it? Where is it going into? You know, if it's going in somewhere, it has to come out.
It's combusting in itself.
It's a
I mean, just
gravity
like when
well.
I eat a burrito, you know,
The black hole is a
goes
gravity
in
well
there.
so powerful that it brings in the space time around it.
Yeah, and the reason why it's called a black hole is because even light itself can't escape it.
Exactly. And white holes do
It's called the
theoretically
event horizon.
exist.
Theoretically,
Yeah, I
it's
saw something. I don't know if they actually found one. I don't remember, but I know that they were talking about it.
yeah. I don't believe so. I know they were theorizing about it, but as of the knowledge that I have as of right now, I don't believe that there's been any definitive proof that there is.
I think what it was is when they put the James Webb up, they were saying that it would be possible if there is, we would possibly be able to see it with James Webb.
Yeah. So, Beaker, what else you got to?
So, yeah, no, these were found like literally just because they were observing, uh, like okay, so it was being studied by a pair of they're studying emerging galaxies. Like they weren't looking for black holes or anything; they were just looking for merging galaxies. Um, and they just happened to come across it. They were using the Atacama Large Millimeters sub millimeter array or YALL. An international observatory co-cooperated by the U.S. National Science Foundation, National Radio Astronomy Observatory, the University of Memphis, Dr. Francisco Muller Sanchez, and other scientists discovered the two supermassive black holes growing simultaneously near um, center that are like the center of the new galaxy. And so they were going to use, they're pretty much going to use this as a test to see what happens because those black holes are in the center of a new galaxy, pretty much. They're going to see what happens to that as they wanted to originally watch what happens when two merging galaxies happen for when we merge with another galaxy.
So
Yeah.
basically, they're just kind of get like a theoretical observation of what could possibly happen.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it won't matter because, like I said, 100 million years from now, I mean, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
You
that's a
never
long.
know what
That's Look, that's
that's a
definitely out of
very,
our lifetimes. I mean, we're gonna grow to be
very,
old. We're all gonna have our rockers sat next to each other at the nursing home, flirting with the nurses and all. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna live 100 million years.
no, I don't know what humans are. Yeah, I don't think humans are going to live 100 million years. And if they do, miraculously somehow, then it's going to be by the advancement of technology.
And they're
Hey,
definitely going to have a ride of their life.
so look,
It would be insane to think what
it'll be
that's like. But
interesting.
a black hole will, it's not going to affect us in 100 million years, but we will feel the effects.
Yeah, it's not gonna
Um,
directly affect us, but it will
yeah,
have some
that
kind of an impact.
the galaxy that it's in the center of will be completely swallowed. Like I said, they studied, you know, the two smaller black holes. They weren't considered, and ate up eh, 8 times the mass of our sun.
And the strange
And
thing about it is it possibly could have already happened, but the way light
time,
works, we're
yeah,
seeing in the past.
After images, yeah.
Exactly. For instance, it takes the sun 8 minutes to reach the Earth.
yeah,
We wouldn't know if the sun exploded.
Not for 8 minutes, exactly.
Yeah,
Or
because when you're
supernova, I
talking about
guess would be
something,
the correct term.
yeah, when you're talking about something that's far away, because like you said, 8 minutes. If the sun was to explode, we wouldn't know for 8 minutes. 500, and that's not even nowhere near close to the distance that we're talking about, as far as these black holes go.
Right.
500 million light years away. The after image on that could easily be that one. What was it? A billion years or 100 million? Which one was it? Was it 100 million or a billion? That they said that it would happen.
It's 100 million years.
Okay, that's what I thought you had said. So okay, so we're okay. That and it really makes sense if you think about it. 500 million light years away. You know, we say, and I don't know what the distance from Earth to the sun is, so X amount, is 8 minutes. So 500 million light years away. And as fast as that would still be moving, it would still take 100 million years in order for it to actually happen. Or,
We would
well, what
more
we
than
would
likely feel
consider
the
to happen.
effects first.
But that's what I'm saying. Who's to say we haven't?
True.
I mean, you don't truly know what the effects of it would be because yeah, they may have studied this happening before and what had happened then, but we don't truly know what the effects are or what the effects would be or what the effects would even entail. Who's to say that it didn't happen already and we're not just seeing a long drawn out after image of it? That kind of ties back into what I was saying a minute ago about the fact that we don't know the vastness of space. We only know this real small percentage.
Right. We do know we finally figured out the distance of our solar system is 100 million light years.
That's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
I built a diagram one time and it might have been 4 foot long. I'm just saying. So what else? What else we got on this beaker?
I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it just came down to, the fact that this is the first time we're ever seeing two supermassive black holes this close to each other, which doesn't seem like much, but you know, they haven't, you know, really recorded a supermassive black hole before colliding with another one. So they really want to use this event to study, but they'll never get the chance.
All safe to say, 100 million years. It'd be a long time. That's a lot of studying to do over a long period of time.
Can you imagine the logbook on that?
Oh, head moved. Um, one, decimal of a fucking millimeter, in the last
But
500 years. It's
I'd
we
want
gotta
the
think.
abridged version.
yeah.
We
Give me the
gotta
shortened version.
Give me the somewhere on the back.
we gotta think about it as look at time, as we were talking about earlier. That's still irrelevant, you know.
You're right.
On the timeline, that don't mean anything. Time it don't stop for nothing. So
Time is
uh,
just this
even if we
long.
did live that long, survive that long, would
Well,
we really
that's
want to be around to
that's
be
a good question.
affected by a cosmic event like that?
Especially not knowing what it entails, or
Yeah,
the because they can theorize about what the reach of something like that would be, but even okay. So if our solar system's 100 million light years from one end to the other, this is 500 million light years away, and it's going to be 100 million years before it happens. The advancement in technology between now and say 100 years from now might determine, okay, the impact of this will span at a 360-degree radius out 700 million light years. There's no real knowledge. They can only theorize based off of what they know.
I don't
And
know.
without knowing even that small fraction of what we would need to know to actually get a good measurement of how far of an impact this will have, there's no true measurement. There's no true knowledge behind it.
I'm just saying, I would not want to be around for a black hole.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you on that one.
I
It's
mean,
like
I would love to see it, you know?
I
you
would
wouldn't
like to
really.
see it, but I would like to see it
Second.
from afar. I'd like to see it on a movie.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't think
Yeah,
I don't think I'd want to be part of it.
yeah, because I mean,
Really?
that's it. It
You
won't
wouldn't
matter.
want to see
Bye
what it
bye.
feels like?
See
Look,
what it
You don't want to
feels
feel
like.
the sensation?
no, I don't want to feel the sensation. What if it's like burning yourself up,
Well, you'd
being on
never know.
fire? Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to find out because me not having the knowledge of what the impact would be is how they say be wary and fear the unknown.
I was gonna say you're more of a person that would rather go with the known than the unknown, huh?
Yes.
Well,
Well,
you'd
I
only get close enough before you imploded.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
well,
yeah, the force is just gonna.
but at which point does that happen? Does that happen before? Well, I mean, I know it would happen before it would theoretically reach you, but would that happen before or after you've done been, jerked around and
Well, like
other
the Earth
things?
is just gonna crumble into pieces and implode on itself. I mean,
Yeah, it'd basically be the apocalypse, but you know,
yeah, it
black
would
hole
be an
style.
apocalypse. There's no stopping it.
Yeah, it would be a catastrophic apocalyptic event. And me personally, I would not want to be around for something like that. Not that I necessarily would rather go with the known than the unknown, but like I said, be wary and fear the unknown rather than to completely embrace it.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I like talking about space. I like the idea of it. If I had to choose to explore space or our oceans, I'm gonna go with space.
Well, you can explore space. Not really, but
But
everybody can with the Kerbal Space Program 2, which is coming out uh, this year on 24th of February.
yeah, it's crazy. I was actually reading up on that. I was thinking about maybe actually going for that on my birthday for getting it for my birthday because
The,
that
it's
thing looks interesting and I would love to explore more about space. So
it's going to be available on Steam, Epic Game Store, and directly from Private Division for any of my fellow nerds.
that could be
It's like the third release date because it's kept on getting pushed back. But Private Division and Intercept Games also published a roadmap detailing future development. Early access will aim to have all the features and content from the original KSP, but will improve user experiences with like the UI, the user interfaces, and new parts, improved tutorials. Future developments will add science, colonies, interstellar travel, multiplayer, improved exploration, and resource gathering, which is pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about the multiplayer myself because on KSP1 you had to have mods for that.
Okay.
yeah.
Go ahead, Beaker.
Go for it, Chos. Go for it.
Okay, so as somebody who has not played, KSP1, I have watched you play it a little bit the other day. Um, what kind of features do you look at in the first one that they're going to be adding to the second one? Like do they give any information on that, or like how the, I mean, aside from the change and everything else, how it would be different?
Well, from what I'm gathering, when it's in the early access, it's pretty much going to be KSP1 because I want to say they use the same engine for everything. That's what I understood anyway. Uh, but throughout, they're going to be updating and adding everything. So like everything that I mentioned for KSP2 is technically available for KSP1, but you have to use third-party mods. So
So
they
basically, they're just adding in all the stuff that you don't need mods for.
exactly they're doing their own version, I guess, of. adding everything in. That way you don't have to use third-party mods. Plus the graphics are going to be
So
super awesome.
is it like how they did with Mud Runner and Snow Runner, like uh
I'm not
where
sure
they
how they did that.
included, like you were able to get mods
Oh,
uh
uh, no,
in your
you have to have a third-party mod loader.
oh, okay.
The
I was
most
gonna say
popular one that I know of is CCAN.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the mods and stuff like that. Um, but from watching you play the first one, and it was only for a split second. I mean, that one definitely looked real interesting. And I mean, if they're planning on adding these new features as well as upgrading the interface and the user interface of the game and stuff like that, it would definitely be something that I might try to get myself and get into playing.
That'd be awesome.
yeah,
I
definitely.
would
Yeah.
definitely think you would enjoy it.
I would actually enjoy playing so like exploring space. Like as far as there's not too many games that do it like that. And if they're gonna optimize it to where you know
Right.
you can do things that most games don't allow, or even you know
It's
I
about
don't know
as
too many.
realistic as you can get, as far as I
Yeah,
know.
I don't know too many people making actual split space exploration games.
Right. I mean, there's a game called Star Citizen, which is pretty good, but I don't know about travel and whatnot. I know you can have like actual travel, but I don't know how accurate it is because in real life and in KSP, you have to set orbits and then do maneuver nodes and everything like that. Whereas I think Star Citizen, you just point and shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I'd like to hear from Verno a little bit on you know what's your thoughts. Would this be something that you'd be interested in taking a look at? Maybe try playing.
100%. When I get around the time, I'll look into it. I'm also a big space fan,
Well, you being on
and I
Xbox,
love it.
you don't have to play it. You don't have to invest in a PC because they're going to have it on PlayStation and Xbox as well. Shortly
Really?
after, yeah, shortly after they're going to be porting it afterwards.
Oh, well, that's how most games go.
Yeah, and KSP One is also on console right now.
Right now.
Yes.
Hmm,
That sounds like it
okay.
definitely should be something you should take a look at.
100%.
I don't know. It's just like talking about space and stuff like that, man. It's like something that like you said, you sit here. It's interesting. You sit here and talk about it all day, and I mean, if I could sit here and talk about it all day, I mean, I'd love to be able to get a hold to this game and as soon as it comes out, and maybe try to play it as well as gain some knowledge off of it because I'm sure there's learning that's done inside of the game as well. And right switch, I mean, I
Oh
do
yeah.
believe you was mentioning something about that.
I started off as someone who knew absolutely nothing about space other than ooh, stars are pretty, you know. But through YouTube tutorials, I found out that all kinds of things. I actually made it to the moon a couple of times successfully, and I put a little satellite up there. That way, I can have connection if I ever want to put like a colony or whatever on the moon.
Okay, so I mean, I mean, you make it to the moon. I mean, I'm sure it's not just easy. You don't just get in a ship and fly to the moon, huh?
Right. No, I mean, once you get the hang of it, it is pretty easy. But you not only have to get in a ship, you have to build the ship.
Okay,
Oh,
so
really?
it takes you through the full process then. Everything
Exactly.
from building
Yeah.
it to getting there, getting back, building something to go further and so on and so forth. So it's not just,
Right.
you pick this one and okay, this one will make it to the moon, so I'll grab this one and then I'll just go.
Right. Then you have to worry about getting back if you have Kerbals. which are the humanoid population of the game.
It's like, what? Have what?
Little green men.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
the ETs of the moon.
Yeah. I'll have to show y'all a video of KSP2, the trailer. It's hilarious.
Well, I can imagine. I mean, it definitely sounds like it'd be something that'd be fun. But well, you was gonna say something, Ferno?
No.
Oh, I
Wasn't.
thought I heard you went to go to jump in and say something when we was talking about the little green men. Um, but speaking of the little
No, I was
green
just.
men, there's another game that Beaker has some information about.
Yeah, actually, High on Life, another game that has to involve space, right? You know,
10 out of 10 game. If you could
uh,
ever highly recommend doing it.
Hmm.
co-creator and co-creator and uh, founder of the gaming studio behind High on Life, and co-creator of Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland. Uh, he actually got himself into some hot water. You know, seems to be facing some charges as far as domestic violence, like, um, and has since been accused of predatory behavior of underage. I mean, it's all accusations, but they have been a span of the last 10 years. Uh,
And I believe this happened in 2020, correct?
uh, more recently, yes. They started emerging. There was news back then, yes, but I mean, obviously everything comes to light, you know. So I mean, if
Mhm.
it is true, I mean, the fact that it happened back then doesn't change, you know.
Well, I mean, even here we are in 2023, and if it spans over the last decade, I mean, that means it was happening all the way back in 2013. I'm sure this came out,
Yeah,
before this. So, spanning over the last decade to now, I mean, it's just me personally, it's something that's very sick. Um,
it doesn't. I
but
mean, yeah,
it's not really the type of people you really want in this world. But I mean, unfortunately, there are those type of people here. So the question that I have, as far as all of this goes, and I want to get each of y'all's opinion on it. Do y'all think that this should affect High on Life as a game, or should it affect the company behind High on Life, as well as, I know you said he was like the co-creator or co-founder of Rick and Morty as well. Do y'all think that
co-creator.
And
the
and
allegations that he
solar
has,
opposites.
oh, and Solar Opposites too?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so and then that, but do you think like the allegations and stuff that he's going through, even if he is found and or isn't found guilty, because I'm not going to say whether he is or isn't, because right now, like you said, it's all allegations.
Yes,
So whether if he is or isn't found guilty, do y'all think it should affect, the game and the shows and the company because of
I
his actions?
I think it'll
I do.
definitely affect it, but I would hate to see it, especially the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
The video game High on Life, I do not believe is gonna get affected as much because they've already had so much buyers.
Right?
Um,
yeah,
It's already out there.
if
It's done.
yeah, if he is found guilty, Rick and Morty will shut down because he mains the two main voice actors, Rick and Morty. Um, and I would hate to see it.
yeah,
I love
That's
Rick and
one of my
Morty.
favorite shows.
I love Solar Opposites. I believe the artwork and the jokes,
yeah.
um,
But see,
and
I simply
like
just
the
can't see
lore.
Morty, somebody like that. That's the only, you
Mhm,
know, it. Just doesn't sit right with me.
mhm.
But until
And I'd
then,
rather have a
it,
man that does that be in jail than making TV shows.
Right?
Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of where the question lies is, you know, you're not necessarily supporting him at this point. I mean, yes, you are still supporting the shows and the companies and the games that he's behind, but I mean, he's not the only person behind this. I mean, he's
You
co-founder,
said what will
co-creator of
take
everything.
the
He's
time
not,
for the rest of everything else.
yeah, he's not the main for everything. So, um,
He's the founder behind the game, but I mean the co-creator, as far as that, is just as big as he. I mean, technically, the co-creator is the person who takes the fall for the creator on most parts. You know,
yeah,
they help
Hmm.
they help, but they're also there to take the fall. You
yeah.
know, they
So
carry the weight. So I mean, yeah, it's understandable, but your decisions like that have effects. Those are just something that you can't just accept or push aside. And I
yeah,
get
well, I
it.
mean, it's gonna have some kind of effect, and like they said,
It has,
go
you
ahead.
know. I'm sorry. It just has to. It just naturally in the time that we live in, it's just gonna take the effect. You
Yeah,
know,
but
I mean, a show. Sorry, a show like Rick and Morty is so popular, but people are
Hmm.
so sensitive to certain things. You know, and it's
that's just
crazy to
it
think.
nowadays. And I mean, I try not. We try not to get, you know,
Now
I'm not
here
gonna
we
say
get into everything.
political, uh, but I mean, this is definitely something I do want to get into because the way you said it, the problem with nowadays is not that people are sensitive, but the fact that they're sensitive to things that they shouldn't be sensitive about. Now, a situation
Or
like
they pick and
this,
choose.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So in a situation like this, um, in my opinion, it's always been this way. Any children always come first, no matter what.
Of course.
So in this situation, this isn't going to be something that people get offended about because of nowadays they're kind of trying to push it to be accepted. And to me personally, that is probably one of the most disturbing things in the world.
Yeah,
Um, I
honestly.
do not condone it. I do not, push for it. I push this as hard against it as I can, as well as I know each one of y'all do too, because this is a conversation that's been had between us before.
Right.
Um, so it's just people get sensitive and butthurt over the wrong things, and a lot of the times, honestly, it's people getting offended for other people, but they can't get offended for our children that are having to go through this. Like I do believe somewhere in the article it said something about he was grooming high school kids.
Yes, it was. That's what I said. It was underage. They were high school, so like I said, he's been accused for the past decade. So I mean, that's
So
just
yeah,
scary to think.
so over the past 10 years this man allegedly has been grooming high school kids, which are kids under the age of 18. um
Somebody in that kind of position,
yeah,
you know.
somebody, yeah, high up in a position, somebody who's got a little bit of pull, a little bit of influence with other people, as well as got a little bit of money to make somebody with connections, basically.
Right. And he's even a role model for some.
Yeah, yeah, and a role model for some. So these people have, you know for a decade, somebody's had to have been sweeping something under the rug. If you want to be completely honest with you, if it's all coming
Yeah,
out now, but it's something had to have been getting swept underneath the rug,
like
rug for the past decade.
so. Ferno mentioned it was brought up in 2020, but now
Hmm.
they're they say there is newly reports, but they don't go into specifics. And now I don't know if it's because of like investigation or what it is, but it does say he faces several years if possibly uh convicted or goes trial for it.
Yeah, me personally, if it does come out that that stuff is true, I hope they slap him with the max everything.
Yeah.
Um, I but that goes back to the question I asked. Now, at the same time, I never really did watch Rick and Morty, and actually until here recently, I started watching it, and I do like the show very much. Um,
Good show.
it is a really good show. I do not support him and the actions that he is being accused of. But at the same time, like I said, he's not the only one involved.
Yeah.
He's not the only one that it affects. So I don't believe in supporting him, but I do still believe in supporting the others that do what they do for this show and stuff like that.
Right.
Will it still take a hit? Will it still take an impact? Yes, because there are going to be the diehard people that are going to be like, oh, well, he was involved in it, so we don't want to have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
There is going to be people like that, and I mean, they're not wrong, but they're also not right. Now, anybody who goes and says that what he did, isn't a big deal, those people, if convicted, if the allegations come out to be true and somebody says, well, what he did isn't a big deal, those are the people, in my opinion, that are definitely wrong.
Agreed. 100%.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, obviously, if he goes away, they lock him up and whatnot. It's not like he's benefiting his money off of it. Now they may hold his money if he stays in there, say 2-3 years. Yeah, the shows and everything he has ties and assets to, royalties to, whatever. Uh, they may just hold on to it until he comes out or whatever. But if he's in there for 15, 20 years, they're gonna cut somebody off like that. Like he's not gonna come out and just be, you know, as well off as he was when he went in. I mean,
Exactly.
so
No,
that's fair. I mean, obviously, continue to watch the show, or I don't know about the game. I mean, obviously,
I haven't
I'm
finished the
kind of
game yet.
yeah, I haven't. I'm not too fond of it, honestly. Uh, not up to the way people made it seem.
Yeah, it was hyped a little bit too much for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I was super
Uh,
excited to play it, but I got about
I liked it.
quarter of the way in, and I'm like, this is kind of. I mean, it's
yeah.
great, but it's kind of tedious.
Yeah. So I don't. I
Mm.
mean, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just think it didn't. The
It
hype
did. It
was
didn't
too much.
live up to the hype everybody was
Yeah.
Right.
putting
Yeah.
it up to.
It's still a great
Um,
game. I just not as great as what I thought it was going to be.
so, like Bigger said, if he does get 2 years or 1 year and he comes back and he still has lots of money and then he goes to remake or start making seasons of Rick and Morty, I would feel like mad at myself for watching a pedophile giving money to a pedophile.
Well,
Like I
something
don't
like
think
this
I could watch.
in a situation like this, even if he does go for a year and he comes back, the networking and stuff like that, they're not going to take him back.
Yeah. I was gonna say they're not. I mean,
I
you're not
mean,
gonna. If they do, it's gonna. I mean, they're taking a risk with him because I mean, he takes a. You know. I
y'all
mean,
know about
obviously, he's a big.
Nickelodeon, right?
I mean, yeah.
And Snyder,
Hmm.
and he's still in business.
Yeah. Well.
It wouldn't surprise me if they gave him a golden medal.
I'm not even sure what we're talking about here.
Rick Snyder, he's known heavily for on most of his Nickelodeon stuff of sneaking in uh, adult innuendos with child actors, plus the fact that he's been accused on numerous accounts of molestation and everything like that.
Yeah, but it also all falls down to whether or not they were able to prove it or not.
Right.
I mean, a man can do a lot of things, but without proof, it's pointless. Been a victim of
True.
everything.
Um, so I think we're gonna transition from here because I think we're gonna go on a little bit of a more of a lighter note.
Yeah.
So
That sounds good to me.
last week we had talked about some movies and TV shows that were coming out. So this week I kind of want to touch on some animes that either have just recently come out at the beginning of this year, or and a few of them that will be coming out a little bit later on in the year.
Please say One Punch Man. Please say One Punch Man. Please say it.
Don't worry, Ferno. One Punch Man is on this list, bud. That's
Say
actually
let's
the one that I'm
go.
looking forward to the most. So as me being probably the newest one to this to this anime community. Um,
And we welcome you.
some
Don't
of
worry.
some of these things that they'll probably know a little bit more of it than I will, but you know, we're definitely going to talk about it. So right here, I got a list. This is so I got a list of some great releases that came out at the start of the year. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna name them off to you. So we got Vinland Saga season 2, just released at the beginning of the year. Record of Ragnarok season 2 also released.
I'm looking.
Spy
Ooh.
Classroom. The first season was just released at the beginning of this year. Um, some people say it's a remake. Some people say that it's not. I'm not 100% sure because I don't ever remember watching the original one. But Trigun Stampede also released a few days ago.
I've got to go see that.
Yeah, so like I said, some people say it's a remake. Some people say that it isn't. I'm not 100% sure, like I said, because I never watched the original. Switch, you did watch the original, right? I do believe
Uh,
me and you talked about that.
Not all of it, but I did watch a lot of it. Yeah, it
So,
was
I mean,
pretty
a
good.
lot of it. So, I mean, you would still have a pretty good basis on telling whether or not it was a remake or if it was a, if
So
it
No,
was a whatever. Um, so the last one that we had that has already been released is the Misfits of Demon Academy season 2. Now all of these right here, I haven't watched any of them. I don't know if either one of y'all have.
the only one that rang a bell was Trigun.
Well, that one just came out, so I mean, I was talking about like season 1 of some of these ones that are like second seasons and stuff.
Right.
So I'm gonna take that as a no, being so.
Huh?
I asked if there was any chance that you've watched any of like the first seasons of the ones that I just listed.
No, I mean obviously Vinland Saga was the only one, and also the Tri Stampede or
Yeah,
whatever.
Trigun Stampede.
Yeah, that I seen before. I don't know if this one is actually going to be a remake, but I know there's a lot of talk about how they butchered my guy. You know.
Yeah, that's I said. I'm not 100% sure because so the original release of the Trigun Stampede was back in the 90s. Um, that I do know, but as far as the show itself, I've never watched it because growing up, I didn't really have TV until I got a little bit older, and then by that point in time, something like that wouldn't have been shown on TV. Um, it would have been considered outdated or something like that, which probably would, from what I looked at and what I've seen so far, would have definitely looked like something I would have liked to have watched.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you would. It's a
Um,
darn good show.
so I might just have to go ahead and check out the new release to this. I do believe it was released on the 14th. I want to say it was of this month.
Do you know where we
So
can watch it? Like Netflix, Amazon?
I do believe Netflix. It was released on Netflix. All of these I do believe was
Right.
released on Netflix.
Yeah. So Vinland Saga has been on Netflix. That one's actually really good. I don't know if y'all have watched it. Uh, but they just started season 2. And there will be, I think the last one they air every Monday. As a new release. And the last one I think comes out on like the 30th of June or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but we have some time before we finish this show and before we get episodes being fed like that. It bothers me so much, but you gotta love a new season.
Yeah. So some more, I guess, notable. Like I mean, even ones that I've heard. Um, that are going to be coming out at the end of the year, but the release dates are not yet 100% confirmed. So first we got Attack on Titans. Now I know that that's definitely one that a lot of people are, they're you're on both sides of the fence with it. A lot of people really love this anime, or a lot of people really hate it. Me personally, I've seen a few episodes here and there. It's not really my style of, you know,
But
I it is my style, but it's not my style. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Maybe it was just the episodes that I watched. Maybe it was just the time that I watched it. Who knows? I might try to get into watching it and see. Because I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about Attack on Titans. But
it's really good.
so later on in the year, like I said, the release date's not 100% confirmed. So you got Attack on Titans, the final season, part 3 is going to be coming out. Um, Also, another one is going to be the Classroom of the Elite season 3 will be coming out sometime. I do believe I want to say it's sometime in winter. Um, Demon Slayer season 3. Now this is another anime that I have heard really really good things about, and I've heard a lot of people have told me that I should watch it, and I haven't really got around to watching it yet because I get too caught up on watching other things. Um, so that's definitely going to be another one that I'm probably going to have to look at. Now, one that I haven't really heard is Tower of God. I don't know, Beaker. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I'm not
Uh,
too sure of that.
yeah, so that one will also be released. It's going to be season 2 of Tower of God's going to be released sometime at the end of this year. Um, and then of course season 3 of One Punch Man, which is the one that I'm most definitely looking forward to. Um, Bigger, I mean, like I said, you're probably the most notable when it comes to
Um,
animes and stuff like that. So I mean, anything about any of these that you'd like to add?
Demon Slayer definitely. I mean, it's one of the more popular newer ones. People, I don't know, these newer ones that people are that these newer animes that come out, more and more people are being exposed to them, and they're becoming more popular. But as far as like you said One Punch Man, right?
Yes, One
Uh,
Punch Man. They said it's supposed to come out sometime at the end of the year.
yeah. So I mean, really for me, being One Punch Man has been one of those shows that, as a show, yes, it's good, but he's the it's a joke of a show. I mean, this man, he's overpowered. I mean, he gets put up against other animes like Goku and stuff like that, and it's like he says those aren't the same power level. I mean, and people think that because he beats everything in his universe that he's on the same level as other animes on theirs. Uh, Record of Ragnarok is another one you mentioned. That one is that's one of my. I love tournament style uh animes. Baki, uh, things like that where they're trying to see who's the strongest, and with you know, uh, the Record of Ragnarok, that one's actually really good. I mean, you literally first season, you have humans versus gods tournament for the survival of humanity. You know, so it's a good show, but something like One Punch Man has not been my go-to show. Like it's not something that I have to watch, but I do enjoy it. Um, but as far as like David, that's just like I said, the newer shows they do terrific every time, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because of the more exposure that they have now, or you know, I don't want to say people are hopping on the bandwagon of anime because I'm not one to like gatekeep anime. I want everybody to enjoy it and whatnot because anime, going to school getting picked on for liking anime as a kid and growing up in a world where it's everywhere. Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like
you went from the oh my god, look at that
yeah,
anime kid sitting in the corner to oh my god, you don't watch anime? What's wrong with you? It's
yeah.
it's
It's like
Total
it's
180.
it's like it's no. It's more of like, oh my god, you didn't watch the very first episode the second it was out. What is wrong with you? And it's like, what do you mean? I mean, you're not a true anime. What? I missed an episode. I'm sorry. Like doesn't mean I don't like anime, but like I can't. I just I
and that
made
that goes back to I mean I think I was telling you this the other day, Beaker, for or no, it might have been Switch, whoever it was I was talking to. Um, for years, my
yeah
roommate has tried to get me to
Oh
watch
yeah.
One
yeah
Piece for years and
yes.
years and years. And One Piece is up there. It's supposed to be this big, amazing,
One Piece is one
great
of the most
anime.
pushed. animes I've ever come across. Like they don't say they're pushing it on you, but they tell you to watch it or they talk about it to where they're like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
knowing you haven't seen it, they're gonna ask you, "Have you seen the?"
Well,
Like
this
no,
dude runs around talk about One Piece is love, One Piece is life. So that's why I started watching One Piece. Got about I'm gonna say 400 some episodes in.
how
Flavored me.
That's
how
well, I say that. I mean, it may not even been that much. I don't know. I was like past like Fishman Island and stuff like that.
yeah, up there actually.
Yeah. So I was like right past that. But to me, it got to the point to where, and I see why this anime is over 1,000 episodes long. It's easy to make an anime that's 1,000 episodes long when one person's telling the same story stretched over 10, 15 episodes.
Right?
Uh, Now, don't get me wrong, okay? When the action in the show is good, it's good. The show's good. I like watching it.
But
But and there's always this argument,
I
okay?
know
And Beaker, you know which argument I'm about to bring up because me and you've talked about it before.
it's the only reason.
There's this one argument that always gets brought up, and it's about filler episodes.
I can't stand it, bro. Why does it take so long to get to the point?
They talk about filler episodes, but I mean, somebody who's a diehard One Piece fan will always throw out the fact that, like, because I am a Naruto fan, always have been, always will be. One of the only animes that I'll say that I've watched before I actually started watching animes. There's always the argument between those two because they'll throw out the whole, yeah, One Piece is only 10% filler episodes and Naruto's like 30 or something like that. I know the One Piece was like 10%.
Yeah,
But you know how easy it is to make that argument when you got 700 more episodes.
yeah.
700 more episodes. Really do the math. Count the number of filler episodes. Like actually count the numbers. Don't give me a percentage because I mean you could take one episode and it's 100% if it's a filler episode, but you could take 100 episodes and it's only 10%. So give me the number of episodes in One Piece, like an actual counted out number of how many of them are filler episodes or how many of them are Jinbei sitting there just telling a story the whole time. And then turn around and go to Naruto and tell me when they don't have action. And I want you to count out each one of those episodes. And then come back and give me a number.
1,043 episodes in One Piece.
And how many episodes do we have in Naruto? Just Naruto, because nobody ever brings up the Shippuden part. It's just everybody. The whole argument is like the original Naruto series. How many episodes is it in there?
500.
Okay, so half of this show is, makes up for Naruto. Just half of it.
That's honestly they're counting that with Naruto Shippuden.
Okay. Oh, okay. So then there you go. There's the real answer right there. So Naruto and Naruto Shippuden together is 500 episodes, right? That's what you said. 500 episodes. One Piece is 1,044 episodes and counting. And counting.
104 episodes, approximately, are filler episodes on One Piece.
And how many? Can we get a count on the Naruto ones?
There's 89 filler episodes of 220 of the first half, not including Shippuden. So 40%.
there's 40%. So there's 80 episodes. So 80 episodes of Naruto, and now Naruto's filler episodes aren't like One Piece's filler episodes.
There's 210 filler episodes of 500 total episodes.
Okay, so of total there's 200 of 500. So I lost my train of thought there.
That means there's only 10 episodes that are filler in Shippuden.
I completely lost my train of thought. So, in other words, back to this. There's a difference to the filler episodes. Um, in my opinion, One Piece filler episode. Well, it's not opinion. I mean, it's every filler episode I've seen of One Piece was them sitting there telling a story. And where I stopped watching it at, I mean, I made it a little bit past this, but where I kind of gave up because I was told that it was going to get even boring for another 100 fucking episodes.
That's what I'm
Was
saying.
where I sat there and listened to Jinbei tell the same story for 15 episodes. And
Honestly, I'd rather listen. I'd rather go through Dragon Ball Z filler episodes where they're just standing there yelling or talking to each other. Than one.
it's more interesting.
Dragon
it
Ball Z
really
took 3 episodes just to do one Kamehameha.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
it's
And build up alone.
more interesting to watch them yell at each other in Dragon Ball Z than it is to listen to some fish dude tell a story. A story that at the end of the day still has no point in what they're talking about. It's just, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I mean, I like the show. Okay. I can definitely do without the filler episodes, or maybe if they're gonna put the filler episodes in, don't stretch them out so much in one, particular area of the show. If you're stretching 15 filler episodes out in a row, it gets boring. It's just gonna get to the point to where, I mean, me personally, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not a diehard One Piece fan, so I'm not gonna sit through that.
I think I only made it to like maybe 3 episodes.
Oh shit, you was just getting the good stuff. Oh,
One
don't
Piece,
get me
Yeah.
wrong. The
yeah,
first
it gets boring. It's boring.
250 episodes, about the first 250 episodes are fucking great. Maybe
No,
even stretching it to 300. Maybe the first 300 episodes are great.
no.
Once you get past that, it gets so boring. Once you get past the time skip,
'Cause even
everybody.
those few have. Sorry, even those few have their moments where it's like, bro, just get on with it.
Well,
You know,
they do,
I
but it's not as much.
I think it's at first it's great because they like you're learning about it. You know, you're going through and you're learning about the show and you're learning about the characters. It's great, and they have a great, But after a while, it just seems like it's repetitive and it's the same thing you're being told, or it's just like going back and forth for the longest time about a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, and like you
I
said, I mean,
great
when
though.
you're getting your character development and stuff like that, I mean, it's great. But um, I don't mind the backstories, for
Yeah,
everybody. But once they start throwing in all this other stuff, and like I said, it's really like once you get past the time skip. I don't remember how many episodes in the time skip is. So I said about 250, 300. But after the time skip is, in my opinion, everybody's like, oh, wait till after the time skip. It gets so much better. It gets so much better. It got boring after the time skip. And I was like, no, I don't like this. I'm getting too much of a, I don't know how to explain it. It just got to be too much. The storytelling was way too overpowering, and I just didn't like it. But I do like Naruto, and me personally, I feel like their filler episodes are at least more interesting to watch. Cause when I'm watching it, and I've done watched the series more than once. When I'm watching it, I don't feel like I'm watching filler episodes. I feel like the filler
yeah,
episodes are actually a main component of the storyline, even though
yeah.
they're technically not. But it still feels that way. One Piece, it just feels like they throw things in there just to kind of make it stretch out and last longer, and that's where they lose me at.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like I said, I don't like to feel like I'm sitting there, uh, being told a story all the time. I want to see, Naruto has, if they got people talking, they'll skip to someone that's fighting, or that's doing something interesting. They're not just standing there talking to someone, and then they'll cut back, you know. But I feel like One Piece doesn't do that you know, with their show. It's just constant like off-putting battles where maybe here and there they fight each other, but in the meantime they're just talking.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like the talking is so much. It's just, I
Yeah.
don't know, dude. Like I said, when I that's the way I look at it. If I have to sit there and try to force myself to stay awake to watch this episode, it's boring. Now when I'm falling asleep during the episode and my roommate's going, "Hey, wake up," and then we're already starting the next episode, and I fall asleep and he goes, "Hey, wake up," and then we're starting the next episode and he goes, "Hey, wake up." That's my key right there.
Really?
It's not time for me. I'm not watching this anime no more.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
I
not
don't
doing it.
find it interesting. I
I
don't want to force myself to.
Yeah, they could have cut One Piece off. Look, and I tell him this all the time, and he fucking hates it. One Piece is 1,000 episodes. Cut that sucker down to 500,
Right.
600,
Could
I think 600 would be good. I think 600 is
maybe 700 if you really want to get a lot of
the
good storytelling
the,
in.
the, the time skip happens at like 500 and like 80 some to 590 some episode. After that,
you could possibly even do like a 5-part mini series, like what Full Metal Alchemist did with Brotherhood. They did a
yeah,
2-part mini series.
Yeah.
that's a good
Well,
show.
it's just okay, and I get it, and like all the arcs in One Piece, they're all big arcs. There's no real like little arcs. Um, but it's just I feel like in each one of these arcs, they can cut off 5, 10 episodes out of a fucking 40 episode arc. I mean, they can at least cut off 5 or 10 of them because they don't need them. It's shit that they're just adding in there for, and I get it. They want that little bit of minute detail added into the show, but it makes everything tedious. It makes everything boring. It makes everything to where, you lose interest in it, and that's what happened to me. And if you're not a die-hard One Piece fan, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna lose interest in it. I'm not a die-hard One Piece fan. I do believe that there's better animes out there. It probably doesn't even make my list of top 10.
Yeah, honestly, me either. Man. And I hate to say that because I have a lot of friends that enjoy it.
Well, I
As
mean, me too. But I mean, well, let me rephrase that. I have one friend that really, really, really enjoys it, and I have another friend that used to tell me, "Yeah, it's alright."
No, like I have my friend that watches it. Like he'll probably. Honestly, I couldn't tell you who would know more about that show between the two. You're between Bush uh and my friend Ryan. I mean, Ryan. My friend Ryan has tattoos all over his body from One Piece. Um, I
my
mean, his
money's
whole
on
body.
Butch.
Yeah, I think I'd put my money on Butch too.
That's because y'all don't know Ryan. You know.
True.
I mean, you don't understand. This kid will read the manga while watching, and he's read the manga like all of
Yeah, yeah, you're right. He got Butch beat because Butch can't read.
it. No, you know this kid. He reads all the mangas, like of every like he knows so many animes and he knows when they're coming out. Honestly, that's really how me and him really connected. I mean, we literally would just smoke and watch anime, just chilling in my car, you know. And man, uh, I consider this guy like my brother. Like, yeah, him and his brother are like my brothers, and we bond over anime. And that's one of our favorite topics. Uh, and me and him, when it's just me and Ryan, we sit in the car talking about who would win from different animes, But um, yeah, I mean, One Piece, he's always he knows he can tell you episodes and everything directly.
Yeah,
I mean, we're kind of guessing over here like which episodes, which he would know exactly.
yeah, he could pinpoint it down to the exact
Yeah,
second.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's just insane. So it's like I know, I know how much Butch loves One Piece. I know it. I know. But when it comes to the knowledge part, and like it's insane because me and his brother talk about how he knows and memorizes it so much for it being such a show that's so vast. Like it's insane that he knows so much about one show. and it's not. He does it with every show, but that's because
Yeah.
he's reading the manga and he reads news articles or reports about if they're gonna make a show on it, adaptation or whatever. He's on it. I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
so
and I, I
go
don't
ahead.
knock anybody for liking One Piece because I
Yeah,
can see why it's so widely liked. But my thing is, it's like when people like One Piece, it's like if you don't like it, you're like their enemy almost. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you've ever come across that situation.
I have not. I mean,
Yeah.
I for the most part, the people I meet enjoy anime or like it. You know, or they have some shows that they watch, but they're never like, yeah, no, I don't like it because you like anime
I've
or vice versa.
no, not anime in general. I'm just talking about One Piece.
Oh,
Just
One Piece, yeah,
One
no,
Piece in itself.
One Piece, no, it's different. No, One Piece fans are weird.
Hence Butch.
Yeah,
It makes sense. It just makes total sense now. Um,
So earlier, Travis, you said that the One Piece wasn't in your top 10.
Mhm.
I would love to know everyone's top three. Like everyone has their own top three anime, so I want to know yours, Travis, Switches, and Baker's.
yours, Travis, switches.
yeah, I think
You,
somebody's getting a
Travis,
little double dipped in
Switch,
here.
and then Baker. Oh
you,
my
you
Say
added
that
you
one
in
more
there.
time. You, Travis, Switch, and then Baker. Who's the you? Who else are you talking to, Ferno?
You, as in you, Travis. You, no, you are Travis. So you, Travis, Switch, and Baker.
Okay, I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
My top three animes. See, that's a hard one. Um, Actually,
got mine.
I can give you my top three animes, and the funny part about it is, as much as we just talked about Naruto and how much I said I loved it, it actually doesn't even make my top three animes.
Oh wow.
So my
No
top,
shot.
it's number 4 on the list actually. So my top three animes is actually gonna be at number 3 would be Rise of the Shield Hero, which actually season 2 just released, and I'm so ready to watch
Dude,
that.
I fucking love that.
Rise of the Shield Hero is definitely my number 3. My number 2 is gonna be SAO, Sword Art Online. Um,
Any
and
particular
this
seasons
is
you like?
the first and second seasons is definitely good, but I think the third season is definitely the best. Um, so, but SAO and this next one is so close that I could almost put them as a tie for number 1, but we're not going to put them as a tie. But my number 1 favorite anime is Assassination Classroom.
Uh,
Bro, that's my number. That's
yeah.
my number 2.
I loved that show. Look, there ain't too many things in this world that I
Humo was
cry
such a
for.
W, bro.
Look, there is not too many things in this world that I cry for, but that ending to Assassination Classroom about killed me. I mean, I couldn't help it, man. Me and Butch are sitting next to each other on the couch, bawling our eyes out, watching this damn anime. Just like, no, bro, I'm not crying. You're crying. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Bawling our eyes out,
Dude,
man.
it was so sad. I knew it was gonna happen. I didn't want to watch the last episode.
Oh
Like when I
man,
watched the
it was rough.
I think it was actually the second to last episode where it happened.
Yeah, second. I do believe it was the second to
Yeah.
last episode. And I think the last episode was just kind of showing them after everything was said
Yeah,
and done.
like yeah. So Switch.
Well, it's easy for me to pick out the top three, but I haven't actually been able to finish all three of them because I'm not big on anime. I'm not against it. I don't go out of my way to watch it. So number one would y'all probably don't even know what this is because it's older. Case Closed, also known as Detective Conan. Number two would be Trigun, and then number three would be Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy
I
Bebop,
love
bro.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, no, that's up there. Honestly, for me, it was kind of hard to choose, but in third,
Hmm.
I think we have Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Hmm.
Uh,
True W.
in second, uh, I had it all right now too. I was thinking. I think I want to put Seven Deadly Sins in there.
Okay, that is
True
one that I
W.
have not
True
get to
W.
watch yet, but I am definitely
I am
going to.
disappointed in the
You need to
animation,
put it on your bucket list.
but the manga is good. The animation, they started butchering it after the second season, or no, probably about the third season. Um, but of course, at number one, we got Naruto. Um, Naruto, you know, it being one of the most popular, obviously, but I mean, I was watching it and reading about it way back when. You know, getting books from or like anime, like the mangas from the book fairs. Like I would low key go in there and like steal them because I couldn't afford them at the time. So, and they would have all the ones that I needed to finish reading or whatever to finish up on the manga or to finish, stuff that the library didn't. The ones that the books, the animes that they didn't have, I'd take them from the book fair. But yeah, no, Naruto has been a big one. There's so many episodes that you know really affect you. Uh, like that's the storyline and then the character building between you and the characters that are outside the main cast. I
Mhm.
think they have one of the largest I don't want to say character list of like people like you would have to know, but I think it's up there. I mean, understanding and knowing each one, and they do a good job of making you understand who each one is. Um, but an honorable mention would have to be what was called Samurai Shampoo or something like that. Uh,
Samurai Shampoo.
Shampoo. It's SHL. It's like shampoo,
Uh,
but with an L. Shampoo. It's about two samurais.
mhm.
They meet each other. Uh, and this girl like they all come together and whatnot. One of them uses his skills to pretty much live free off of everything. He does whatever he wants, kind of
He's a
thing.
sellsword.
Yeah. Uh, the other one is an actual samurai, lives by the blade, kind of thing. Uh,
I
it was
think I may
kind
have
of around.
seen one
Yeah,
episode of it.
it's kind of around the time the girl wears like a pink dress. Uh, or she kind of the show's kind of like about the same time as Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop. Like it's all around that time. It was on Adult Swim for a while. Uh,
Yeah, I would see it advertised, but I don't think I've ever seen only but
yeah.
one
One of
episodes.
them looks like he would be like he has like a little afro. The other one has like his hair tied back, wears all purple. It looks like a presentable samurai, and the other one looks like he would be a merchant for hire as a samurai. So that was a really good one that I like. But yeah, as far as the list, Full Metal's in there because I mean, bro, some of the moments in there were insane. I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the storyline, fight scenes.
I didn't
Uh,
actually finish the TV series, but I did finish Brotherhood.
yeah, well, Brotherhood was really good. So
I
uh,
finished the TV series. I loved it.
now I do want to put another honorable mention at number one, and that's Bleach, and it gets a lot of hate.
I've
That is
heard
another
people
one
like
that is on my watch list. Or my
Bleach,
watch list.
I couldn't. I was gonna put in second, but again, I like Seven Deadly Sins. I just hate the way they did the animation, but I like the storyline. I like the fight scenes. I like everything about it. But Bleach, it has it has its moments, yes, but the fight scenes are just so great. and lately I've been seeing more recognition towards it. And I think that's because the Thousand Year Blood War, animation was released, or the episodes are starting to be released. They come out every Wednesday, pretty much.
I didn't
I
think
remember
about
when.
the honorable mentions when I was doing mine, but
Yeah,
obviously
no, I just couldn't pick, honestly. Like,
the
it's just like Bleach is one of those things for me that I enjoy the fight scenes. I like a good. I don't know. I don't like the whole high school thing, the teenage thing, or whatever. But
Look, okay, so that's what my next thing was gonna be. As soon as Ferno gives his list of 3, if he
no.
can
can.
stay in the.
Um, what is y'all's 2, in y'all opinion, worst animes? Which Beaker already knows one of these that I'm gonna give the answer, and that's gonna be High School DxD. Not because the animation's bad, not because maybe the storyline is bad. I made it 2 episodes through there, and I just did not want to watch it for obvious reasons.
Speak for yourself. Okay.
Okay, well
Well,
you're
that'll
still
get
in you're still in high school, kid. You can watch that stuff without feeling
Weird.
weirded out.
Definitely.
Um,
Yeah. I wasn't able to make it past the first episode. So.
dude, that
Yeah, okay.
show is just no.
I can't think of 2, but I can only think of 1, and that would be Naruto. No
Okay.
offense.
All right. Well,
I just
guys,
hated it.
it's
I hated
guys.
it.
Yeah,
Guys know,
okay. We're looking for a 4th in our podcast. If somebody'd like to take such a spot. Oh man, Naruto.
I'm
I'm
not a
gonna go
fan
ahead
of it.
and
I
put
hated it.
my big 3 in here.
Naruto.
Oh man. Which I was
So-
really. I thought we really had something.
I'm
I
sorry,
thought
I
we.
can't help it.
I thought this was a great guy. I'm over here telling people, he's, Switch. Yeah, no, he's a great guy. And in reality, he's terrible. Terrible human being.
All right, Ferno, go ahead with your big 3.
Alright, so well, my 3rd place is actually tied between One Punch Man and High Rise High Rise
Invasion.
what the fuck? Invasion. My fault. High Rise Invasion.
Yeah,
Um, can't wait for the next season.
yeah,
My
whatever.
second is Assassination Classroom, and my first is gotta be Boku no Pico.
What?
Poku no Pico.
What is that?
Oh,
Poku no Pico. However you say it.
yeah, I know
Yeah,
which one
if
he's
you ever
talking about.
watch it, I highly recommend watching it.
No.
I've heard about it. I just never watched it.
No, it's truly a good show.
So Ferno, go ahead and give me your 2 in your opinion, or your least favorite or worst animes.
Okay. My Hero Academia. And well, it's not the anime. I just don't like the fan base.
Okay, no. Go based off the anime. Don't go based off the fan base.
Based off the anime.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hmm.
Damn, I don't know. Okay, that messes me up because I don't know if I'm going off of him.
Komi can't communicate. I don't like that one.
Comey can't communicate.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
I also didn't really like I'm definitely gonna have some stares. I didn't like Blue Exorcist.
What? How you not like Blue Exorcist, bro?
I did not.
What?
I know.
That makes my list.
Oh my god.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
that makes
Blue
my,
Exorcist, man.
that makes my top 10, honestly.
That makes my top 10. I loved it. Wow. Okay, so I gave
B and A. I'm gonna replace Blue Exorcist with B and A.
Okay, well, I don't know that one, but I know Blue Exorcist, and the fact that was even your first choice to go with, that's
That's my second, actually.
well, you know what the hell I mean. That kind of hurts my feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
I told you, it looks like we're gonna be looking
I
for
mean, I
two.
told you I was gonna get some side eye.
yeah, no, we're about to be looking for two new members to the podcast.
So
Guess
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
hit up
start our own
Butch.
podcast now.
Right?
It's just about to be me and Beaker in the podcast if y'all keep up with y'all shit. No.
Hey, so it's good luck with Ferno.
Yeah. Y'all go start your own podcast. We'll have ours. Y'all can go hate on Naruto and Blue Exorcist, and we'll sit over and talk about how we love them. We'll see who gets further.
I haven't even heard of Blue Exorcist.
Oh, Blue Exorcist Switch. That is a damn good anime. I mean, damn good. You got to watch that. So of course,
Wouldn't
I
say
said my
damn
first
good.
one was High School DxD for obvious reasons. I can't. Like I said, I made it through like the first two episodes. I didn't even make it through the second episode. I made it through the first episode and then started watching the second episode. And Butch was raving about this show, and
Yeah, I
I
wonder
felt
why.
very uncomfortable watching this. I was like, no, this is not
Yeah,
a
if you watch it with a
me
friend,
show.
you can't watch
Well,
it
no,
with a
Ferno,
friend.
I don't plan on. Nope, I'm gonna stop before I go there.
Yeah,
Ferno, shut
I
up.
was gonna say.
Um,
I didn't even know it had that stuff in it.
yeah, okay.
Telling my friend, I actually didn't know. I looked it up and I was like, oh,
Bro saw a
well,
TikTok
those
or
they
a
are.
video and was in the comments like name question mark waiting for everybody to respond.
Yeah, little did he know he was on the hub, not on TikTok. So
Now
my
for me,
second, hold on, let me see my second one.
I mean, the first one.
So my second one would be Afro Samurai.
Oh, that's a good one too. I didn't watch it much.
I hate
Everybody went-
that show.
Everybody got to say theirs and I didn't. That's crazy. That's cool.
Well, you're
But
saying
Afro-
yours now.
No, it's cool. Afro Samurai was a good show. I don't know what you're talking about.
I did not like the fucking cuts of the camera.
Whatever.
It fucked with my head, bro. It gave me a headache every time I tried to watch it.
Yeah, for me, it is this show or this anime called it was like Saki K or something like that.
Samurai Jack.
Hey,
No,
yo, I
it's one
like
of the best
Samurai Jack.
animes. No, it's called like Saki K or something like that, and it's about this dude who has like a little green ball and
Dude,
two green
oh
balls on
my
his head.
god, wait.
Yeah, it's like with the
telekinesis, bro.
yes.
It's so
Bro,
weird.
It's
I don't
so
like it.
weird. I was trying to like, bro, he's so calm about everything, and like, oh man, I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. It's
No,
everywhere.
it's something you can fall asleep to because it's so chill about everything. Even the fight scenes, or even him using his ability, it's just so. It feels like an ASMR, like anime.
ASMR anime.
He's talking
Bro
to
could snap.
himself.
Bro could
Yeah,
look a certain direction and destroy the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Easy.
yeah.
It's like
It's such
what?
it's such a weird. He's so weird.
That's-
It made me feel uncomfortable.
The
Yeah.
weird thing is he solos Goku.
Oh, shut up! Shut up!
He
No, he
does. He
no,
does.
he does.
He actually
No, he-
solos.
Yo, my
Goku.
question,
No,
my
he
question is why everybody goes after Goku? Okay,
bro, pink haired
Because
Saki
Goku
is
fans
not.
will say that Goku can
No.
solo everything.
No, Goku solos.
if
Obviously,
Goku
there's Conquer-
loses,
You know
loses, this motherfucker comes back and solos your ass.
no,
You can't
Xenos
keep the
will take him
motherfucker
out,
down.
so don't worry.
Yeah, we're not getting into this whole conversation. Okay,
Yeah,
we're
the Xenos will take him out, so it don't matter. But
Yeah.
Saki, pink haired Saki with little freaking antennas on his head is not beating. I'm sorry.
okay. I don't know that one. I haven't
Useful.
seen that one. So what's your second one, Beer?
I barely pulled that one out because
Oh, you barely pulled that one out,
thing-
yeah. So you'll just
No,
go ahead and take the
no.
High School DxD one with me, huh?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's
Have
definitely
y'all
instant.
watched the Cyberpunk 2077 anime?
No. Look, Ferno, I don't know if you're new to this conversation, even though you've been here the whole time. I'm not. I've just got into watching anime. I might have
Yeah,
like
and
15 of them
just
underneath
came
my
out.
belt. 20 maybe at most.
it just got whipped out.
They just got whipped out. That's what she said.
Mhm.
Why is that the choice of words, Fredo? Come on.
Okay. Honorable mention on things I hate. Blue period.
All right, we're going.
Don't-
We're moving on. We're
don't
moving on.
watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we're
It's about a high school. That's
Well, of course it is. You're also the
Colonel's trying
same
to
one that
relate.
likes High School DxD.
I don't. I couldn't watch the first
So
episode.
look, man, I don't see how or why people like High School DxD. And now me and Beakers had like a big, long, extensive conversation about this. Um, I just don't get it. I mean,
Yeah, if you like DXD, probably a creep. If real.
I don't know. Yeah, I just. I don't know how to explain. I mean, it's literally in the name. Okay, it's High School DxD, and I get it. Everybody always tries to make this argument. Oh well, I mean, they portray them as to be older and stuff like that. But when I think high school, I think kids. Okay, so I mean, I'm not wrong. Ferner, you can laugh. It's okay. You can unmute your mic. You can laugh. It's
I
fine.
know, my fault. My fault.
Um,
My fault.
so that's what I think of when somebody says high school. I think of kids because I was a
Yeah.
kid in high school.
So I don't, but because like I said, the show earlier, Baki, he's a teenager in high school. He gets stronger by having sex with his girlfriend, and pretty much that's it. I mean, not
Wait, is
necessarily.
that how he actually gets stronger?
Well, pretty much. I mean, like, if you watch it, like he's obviously a professional fighter and super agile and strong way before, but you'll see the difference after having sex once. I mean,
Did you
so
say his name
Imagine
was
that worked in real
Pocky?
life.
Baki, Baki.
Oh,
Oh,
not with a C.
Baki. Okay, yeah. Even I was confused on what it was that you said. I
Oh,
do want to watch Baki.
Baki is the one of the ultimate. That's in my top tens. I think he's right after. He'd have to be up there with like right on five, if not four. No, he'd be four. He'd definitely be four.
Let's see. We gave our top threes, and of
Wait, I
course, my
thought.
four would be Naruto. But then I don't know. My list
Then
from 5 to 10 would be. I would have
Baki
to
has
figure that out.
My 4
Yeah,
would have to be Death Note.
Death Note's
Death
good.
that was
Note.
dope.
Death Note was good. I did watch that one. But I think I
I'm gonna
think
rewatch.
I'd put Full Metal Alchemist at 5, and then everything from there would be kind of. I'd have to figure it out.
Yeah,
Um, but no, when it comes to High School DxD and people are trying to make these arguments and stuff, talking about they're portrayed as older, but I don't care what they're portrayed as. When I think of high school, I think of children.
yeah. I
And
only watch Baki because it's brutal.
well, Baki's more centered around fighting. High School DxD is centered around titties,
Yeah,
and no,
yeah. High school.
yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'll
definitely.
pass. When you got a motherfucker standing on the back of a
You can't
wall,
justify.
looking through a peephole,
Yeah,
and women's locker room shower in high school, you can't tell me that they're portrayed as being older. No, that's not how life works. That's not how this shit works. I get it. They do time and stuff like that different in anime, but this is an anime that we watching this shit in. It just makes me feel uncomfortable.
yeah,
I mean, if
definitely.
people want to watch it, that's their prerogative. But I mean, don't tell me that shit's a good show and expect me to watch it because I'm not going to.
When I think high school, I think reoccurring nightmare of having to go back to high school.
Well, my days in high school was
Yeah, I
actually
think about
good.
that
I
high
mean,
school every day.
I was good in high school. I had a lot of friends.
I haven't peaked actually in high school, so I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, I peaked in high school, man. I'm never
Yeah,
gonna go no higher than that shit. I don't know
yeah,
what I did in
same,
high
bro.
school to peak, but
Yeah, me neither.
My nightmares are just I have to go back because I didn't finish something, like a class or something, so I have to be there another year, which I absolutely hated high school. The people were okay, and I had friends, but high school in general, like taking all the classes, other than like the VOTEC and stuff, I hated it.
yeah.
You go to prom?
I mean, I went to prom.
I went to prom.
Drove
I
a
didn't go
white
to prom.
Lexus up in that bitch. I had the nicest motherfucking vehicle out there.
I almost didn't even go to graduation.
Yeah, no, you saw my truck that I sent you? Yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I went to prom.
Well, homecomings and shit like that, I drove my truck, my little fucking 95 Dodge Dakota to homecoming and shit like that. But for prom, I did. I had a white Lexus that I drove
Did y'all have to
to my
pay for
senior
your
prom.
prom tickets?
Yeah, we had to pay for our prom tickets.
Okay.
Those like $25.
Them
A lot
fuckers
of
are
people-
expensive. Them fucking schools are smart, man, because they know people want to go to that shit.
Mine were $75 a year,
So,
starting your freshman year.
$75 a year? Is that for all
Yeah.
of them?
No, it was for your. So when you got in your freshman year, you had to start paying just so you can go to prom, your senior prom.
So basically, what you're saying is they charged y'all $300 to go to your senior prom.
No, they charged my classmates.
What?
To go. They didn't charge me. I didn't go.
But no. But that's what I'm saying though. It was $300, $75 a year to go to prom.
Yeah.
Yo, fuck your school, dude.
Right.
Excuse my language, but
Yeah, no, definitely not that. No.
it was
No,
like
that
$35,
was my
$40
suit
for me to go to my senior prom.
But I don't even know that, man.
My suit cost like around $300.
That shit. I don't want to talk about how much my suit cost.
No. Yeah, no, it was. That's because I
Look.
was not keeping that shit. I rented that shit out.
Look, I'm pretty sure that I bought mines, but I'm pretty sure I don't know where that fucker's at.
Nah,
I'm pretty sure I lost that the night that I took it off. No, it wasn't my senior. No, that one was rented, and that one ended up costing like $600 something dollars. But the one that I went for homecoming was the one that I bought, and that one I lost the night that I took it off.
The only event I went to was graduation, and I bought my gown for like $20 at Goodwill.
I don't
You
remember how
bought
much
what
our
for
gowns were.
$20?
The
Gown.
graduation gowns.
Oh, ours were provided.
Our hats were provided, but we had to go and buy our own gown.
Yeah, but did
Nope,
you have to
everything
give the
was provided.
gowns back, be here?
No.
Our shit wasn't provided. I had to buy them fucking things. This shit's expensive.
I know. We just walked. We all went home with them. We all were outside walking.
So when you
They were
figure it
supposed
out,
to
did
give
you
them back?
Ever get it back?
No, we were out. We were all outside just taking pictures. So we graduated at our stadium, yeah, our AT&T stadium.
Oh,
And
excuse me, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Right?
I
Well,
graduated
you
in the motherfucking recreation center.
like you gotta understand. Like I told you how big my class was alone.
Yeah, but
my So we class had to was use the
just as
stadium.
big as yours, remember?
We had to
Are
use
y'all
the stadium.
comparing sizes?
Hell, me and Beaker always compare sizes. What are you talking about?
Mine's like
Look,
10,000.
you gotta understand. We live close to the border. All right, our families have families that have families. Okay, so if you do something
I
successful,
would hope.
you have like 60 people showing up for one person.
Damn,
And
they
these
didn't
people
give y'all tickets? Y'all didn't
And
have to have...
these people are showing up and screaming about for everybody's name, but then get loud when it's their kid or their whatever. But I mean, yeah, we
Look,
had a stadium for ours.
You want to know what we was told whenever we was graduating? Tell your families they can't scream for you.
Wow.
They can clap quietly.
Wow.
So you know what every single family did?
Wow.
Every single one of them screamed, except for mine.
We
I wouldn't tell my family because they would probably be like, yeah, no, good job. Yeah.
Well, that's what we was told. We was told to tell our families that, and then they told everybody that when we were sitting down getting ready, and they started announcing the names. They told everybody that again. Every single family screamed, and I'm talking about the top of it. They had families screaming for other kids that they didn't even know, except for my family.
Yeah, that's my.
They
kid.
clapped
I want to graduate. I want to clap.
quietly.
Your family followed the rules.
No, I lied. I'm pretty sure they screamed too.
Oh.
No, we was told that.
Oh, okay.
We really was told that we had to tell our families that they couldn't holler for us. that they could
Wow.
only clap, and they can only do it for a split second too. So every family screamed.
I mean, I wouldn't accept them tonight.
Right? You tell me not to do something. You ain't my boss. So we're actually gonna end it here, guys. You know, we went over a lot of things. We went over sports and, you know, what happened in the games in the first round of the playoffs. You know, we talked about who is going to be playing in the second round of playoffs. We talked a little bit about Kanye West and some of the stuff that he's got going on. We talked, we had our resident astronaut Switch and Beaker talk to us a little bit about, you know, a comet and some black holes that are out there in space that, you know, people need to keep an eye out for. You know, people 100 million years from now need to keep on the black holes. But, you know, from the 21st of this month to, what was it, the 15th of February, keep your eyes in the sky. If you got a telescope, go ahead and look out and take a gander at it. There's going to be a comet passing by. You know, and then we got into this list of animes and stuff like that. So what we do at the end of each one of these is, you know, we did it last week, so we're gonna do it again this week. Is I got a quote for y'all that I want y'all to really think about, and it's a quote by Vivian Green. It says, "Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass; it's about learning how to dance in the rain."
Well, I like that.
So I read this. I read this quote, man, and it's. I mean, it hit you. It hit me like a Mack truck, bro. I was like, "This is the quote that I'm using this week," because, you know, it kind of touches a little bit of everybody, because it is true. I mean, you sit there and you wait for all these hard times and stuff like that to pass, and you wait for like better opportunities and stuff like that, and you let life pass you by like that. So you learn to dance in the rain. So you learn to dance in the rain. You learn to deal with these situations. You learn to move on, move forward with what's going on and stuff like that. And that's how, you know, you get to where you're at in life and where you want to be. So learn to dance in the rain. So, I mean, we're going to end it off right there, guys. We did get a little bit of a later start today, and, you know, we was supposed to do this yesterday. But, you know, if y'all missed part of it, y'all go ahead. It'll be posted up on the YouTube channel. Switch, if you'd like to go ahead and drop the link in there one more time in the chat.
Sure.
It'll be posted up on the YouTube channel tomorrow evening. If you liked watching it live and you don't really want to watch it on YouTube, we'll be live back at it again, hopefully Wednesday. If something changes or whatnot, if we aren't able to get live Wednesday, we'll get live Thursday. But other than that, I think I speak for all of us whenever I say it was a joy having everybody in here, joy having everybody come and listen to us, and, you know, we love y'all.
Let us know what enemies y'all are looking out for, by the way, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just, you know, or any questions. I mean, feel free, you know, to throw ideas for podcasts as well. Topics I would like to hear. I mean, as far as that, I hope everybody is good and wish the well for everybody. I appreciate y'all coming around, you know, hanging out. I'm sure, you know, Ferno and Switch can say the same.
Yeah, yep,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
So we'll go ahead and, like I said, we'll get the podcast out tomorrow on YouTube. If y'all missed something, and, you know, we'll go ahead and be back at it again next week, hopefully with some new, better topics. And, you know, we're trying to grow and get better at this each and every week. So, you know, any feedback anybody has, just go ahead and feel free to share it. But we love y'all, and y'all have a good night.
Hasta lasagna, don't get any onion.
Adios, amigos.
I'm out of here.